UBC is produced by Backgammon Galaxy. Play among the stars. Hi there. This is the amazing team who made the UBC production that you're watching right now. You can support us by donating any amount using this QR code or the link in the description below. Donate $50 or more to get a personal shout-out later in the video by Marc Olsen. Donate $1,000 to get a shout-out and your own custom avatar on Galaxy. Thank you so much for your support. Another way to support Backgammon Galaxy is to place your sports bets on betgalaxy.net, the fastest way to build your Bitcoin bankroll while Bitcoin is skyrocketing. BetGalaxy.net is a Bitcoin-only bookmaker created by the Galaxy team and accepts players worldwide. Create an account now and place your sports bets.
Welcome back, everybody, to match 4 of the UBC finals between Hideaki Ueda and Masayuki Mochizuki. I'm Nick Blasier, and I've got Marc Olsen here with me on commentary.
What's up, Nick?
Not much. This has been a really exciting match. The contender, the sort of, I guess you'd call him the underdog. It's always hard to say in these things. Hideaki is here with a 5-1 lead after 3 matches so far. And the champ, as long as I can remember, basically, is going to need to get lucky, really, to catch up in this, right? Certainly possible, but I mean, he can't be the favorite anymore, being down 5-1.
I think he's definitely not the favorite anymore. 5-1 is a huge lead, early lead. Of course, it's not over yet. He can easily make a comeback. The PRs have been essentially superhuman level so far. Mochy is averaging 2.1. Hideaki is averaging 1.95 after 3 matches. It's incredible performances we're witnessing here. So, yeah. Let's see if Mochy can make the comeback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the board back set up, and we got Michi in the room watching now too. Finalist from the contender tournament. I guess, again, seems like the rules are they get to watch one game and then they have to leave. I'll be super interested to hear what's going on with that.
Yeah, I hope maybe we for the next match, maybe we will have answers regarding that, because I think we can predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to play one game and then they're going to leave. Yeah, that is Grandmaster Michi that we see sitting here on the right from our point of view. He lost to Hideaki in the final of the contender tournament after playing a really, really strong tournament. I think his PR average was around 2.75. Actually, the same PR average as Hideaki had for the entire tournament. So it might as well have been Michi sitting there in the chair, but it isn't. It's Hideaki Ueda, and he's leading 5-1 over the champion right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, a legal roll. We play with the dice on checker rule. It speeds up the game, especially when you got flat checkers like this. There's not really any reason not to have the roll counting. Oh, look at this one, 4-1.
Yeah.
It's a slot, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, you can't split after the 5-5 open. It's just too blitzy.
Too blitzy. Too many checkers in the zone. Too much ammunition. So beautiful play from Hideaki. Of course, he knew it. It's these days this is textbook theory, but I remember when I discovered this concept. I mean, not too many players knew about it 10, 15 years ago. But nowadays,
as we discussed on an earlier stream, I remember too. Like there's still plenty of very top level players that don't know that. Just make the splitting play, make a small error, and know how to survive it. So
yeah, but in this case, it wasn't a small error. It's a pretty big error to split against the double 5, early double 5.
This is an interesting decision.
Primal blitz decision. That's the wrong idea, Hideaki. Look at the game plan. When your opponent has a blitzy front position, you can punish him by building a pure and efficient prime.
Yeah. You have to leave the direct 6s, like the really hard part. But I mean, it's the best 4 prime early in the game, pretty much. It develops so great when it works.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It looks so nice. He said he's down in the race, so he needs to play for priming and contact, not blitzing and racing. That's Mochy's game plan here. This is a blitzing move. Oh,
You know, another feature of this is that he doesn't even catch up on the race after he does this.
Exactly.
Which is kind of his primary game plan, so I think he
Exactly.
sees that he can't do it. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if he comes to his senses. He does. Good play from Hideaki. Okay, a little bit of a scare there.
Yeah. Hey, he does that consistently, though, right?
That's true.
You
That's
have
true.
to give him time to consider the bad play.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay,
a good,
good hit
life-saving kind of response. Yeah, exactly. And this anchor is very great on Hideaki's side, too, so I guess he must probably still leading this? I don't know, it's not
I
clear.
think Hideaki has the better position now after that anchor,
Yeah,
even though he's down in the race.
right. And he has 3 checkers back to 1 after this play, too.
Yeah, but look at what
Ooh.
Mochy has to do, you know. He has to find a way to...
Does he really not have a better
not
play
lose
yet? Like,
shot.
I'm looking at 6-2 first, because that's a
Yeah.
double shot, you know? Ugh.
Yeah.
But that's not pleasant either.
This is just a
tough.
single shot, and he gets to unstack the midpoint. And the
Yeah.
sevens, Hideaki needs to break the anchor to hit with a 7. So this is definitely a better play. I think Mochy is going to find it here,
Yeah,
but let's see.
unstack the 6 point.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if Mochy had a gain from making the bar point the next roll, but the gain is not too big because Mochy doesn't have the priming game plan. He has the running and the blitzing game plan.
Yeah, and both options look so bad that he's going to start back over and see what he missed, right?
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think he's going to see quickly that it's just got to be this 6-2 play. Yeah,
Yeah,
fine,
exactly.
good, fine.
Just give a
Uncomfortable,
single
but
shot.
yeah.
Good play, Mochy.
Hmm.
Okay, so now Hideaki really wants to hit an ace or a 7.
How about 2?
Okay. Oh, what a strong alternative, huh? But of course he's gonna hit, split, and then slide the anchor to the 20 point. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh, look how close it is. Making the 5 point is actually right behind, and it's better for double match point. Interesting.
Yeah. I can see some logic to that because, like, how does your opponent follow up on that, right? Oh,
Yeah.
and we're in this situation where he's going to cube out a lot of the time.
Oh,
So
yes.
maybe there was risk in like a higher anchor or something like that.
And just
yeah.
from a game point perspective, the way you punish a blitzy formation is to make a pure prime.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a great cube, and he's giving Mochy a really tough decision here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this one. I'm leaning towards the pass because he's simply getting
Ooh.
prime. Okay, it's close.
Look how close that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily for Mochy, he's not gonna make a big mistake here either way. But he's gonna burn some time because this is a tough decision for a human being.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 10 in the zone, so you're scared to split now, but you're also primed. So it kind of looks like you're too late on your
Yeah,
defensive side.
You gotta split because you're ahead in the race. You know, you can't just stay back and get primed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Mochy is more scared of the prime game plan of Hideaki than of the blitz. But you know, it's kind of nasty. He's scratching his head.
That's a compelling point for the aces play as well, right? If like that's just the more threatening thing anyway. If your opponent has a checker that gets to stay on the 2, I don't know if you really care, right?
Yeah,
So
it's true.
yeah, man, that was a really neat play.
Okay,
he's
he does
gonna make
take
him play it.
Yeah, he
Okay.
does. I don't mind. Oh, what a crushing roll that is.
I was gonna say Hideaki could get some difficult decisions, but never mind about that.
Yeah, now Mochy has to find.
Mochi
a
gets the
move.
difficult decisions though.
Yeah.
What is he? I guess he can. This seems like
Yeah,
you
I
have to
think so.
split.
Yeah, I think so.
I did see this no hit 8-1.
Yes,
though.
exactly, me
It's
too.
a very interesting play. Yeah.
Me too. But it's not as good. Oh, a fan.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Slight hope from Mochy, but he's still in big trouble. Oh,
Dances
that's
on the
not-
powerful 2-point board. Yeah, this is awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's the right play actually. Just
Yeah.
stack him up on the 3-point because what else are you gonna do?
Right.
It's a horrible roll.
Yeah. I do feel like so far Mochi's been dealing with more of those kind of rolls.
Yes.
Like just the disasters. Yeah. So.
Okay, so this is very close as we can see from the engine.
I like
13 to
this play
7.
better.
Yeah. Coming out is a nice distraction. Coming out in front of 2 stripped points.
Yeah.
But you could have played the other one as well. Just maximize contact. Either
Yeah,
way,
like the additional pressure. Your opponent doesn't really want to break the midpoint to hit. So.
that's a
Yeah.
good shot from Mochy. 2-6. He gets to free one of the back checkers and get some mobility.
Mm-hmm.
But unlucky for him, Hideaki hits.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Okay, so Mochy he's probably gonna come in with a 3. Yeah. I mean,
and play to the ace or 4
yeah,
or whatever.
I think maybe I would play to the ace actually, just because the daily builders on the 3-point, they're just screaming to be activated.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's better to. Oh, it's close. Okay, it's the deuce is definitely better from 3 to 1, but it's really close between this play and that play. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the anchor give up makes some sense here, right? You're going to save a lot of gammons. Your position's just dead.
Yes. Oh,
So-
good play from Mochy. Oh, actually, it was
Slightly better to give up.
okay. But either way.
Oh, this is an interesting follow-up. Do you take advantage of those and hit and continue a blitz, or make? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
'Cause, yeah, it's hard to ignore that 6' option
Yes,
when you
it
get
is.
right?
And
Yeah.
for double, in a 1-point match, the 6' would have been better.
Yeah.
But the 6' was a California prime. You know what that is?
No,
You
I
have the
don't.
Express, and a California prime is an outside prime. So that's from your 4 to your 8-point. So
I
here
like that.
I don't know where that came from. Someone mentioned it on Facebook that McGrill had used it in the 90s or something. I don't know if you have more outside space in California or whatever. I don't know the logic behind it. But an outside prime apparently is called a California prime. And he gets to switch to that inside prime, which is just so much stronger, and he gets to blitz at the same time.
I do really like that because that is like people or overestimate outside primes. I think so. It's fun to look at them, and I don't know. That's neat. I like that it has a name for it. That's good. It's necessary. But here we go again with Hideaki off to a very strong start, likely to win 4 points here, right? And just have close to 75% match equity in this one. I don't think he's making any errors. He is losing the PR race, but something that could swing with just one decision very easily.
It's still early.
Oh yeah, and he's thinking about preventing the anchor. Wow, and that's right. I would go for the structure in a heartbeat.
But look at the blots. I'm actually surprised that it's not a clear play this one, because I would go for the blitzing play in a heartbeat because of the blots over there on Mochy's side of the board. But I mean, obviously, it's very strong to make the perfect 5-point board.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not too surprising anyway. Okay, Mochy's fighting.
Oh, and here's that iteration that you talked about. He's going to come in and hit another one.
Okay, so I think you need to play from the rear. No, actually 16 to 13 is better.
That looks good to me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it works on the 7-point to make the prime.
We're on our way to having another checker in the zone, yeah. So
yeah,
I think it's the next most important thing.
5-4 is a bit awkward. You really wanted to make the 7-point here, or the 3-point, but you can't. So why?
23 to 14. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just seeing. Wow, I'm looking at something way bigger than this. That's fun. Like I'm starting with 13 to 8 and picking any 4. I don't really care. But interesting. We got to do something a little tighten up.
Yeah, 13 to 8 is a little bit too front heavy. You're leaving your men behind. The play that Hideaki found was way more connecting.
Yeah.
So and he has outfield coverage. He has flexibility. All his numbers play. If he gets hit from the bar,
That's
wow,
great.
that's a great shot. I mean, I don't think Mochy is gonna miss this one. No, Mochy. You
be wild.
definitely need the angle. He's gonna find it.
Yeah. This is just too good. I didn't even look for second plays, which is probably a mistake myself, right? But I mean, you just see the 3-2, and that has to be great. Let's do that.
Yes, exactly. It's just the perfect anchoring roll. That's also pretty perfect. And what about the last 5? I guess. I mean, I think you win more gammons by hitting, but I think you win more games by just playing 15 to 10. Yeah. Okay, it's super close. It is super.
Oh.
No, wait,
It's actually supposed to leave a blot all the way back on the 20 is the top
yes, that's right. That's the play. It's
Yeah.
not that play. It's
More
like
contact. That makes sense. But they're both fine. Yeah, these are pretty technical. So it's another one of these where he's going to get tricked into wasting a bunch of time on it.
But this one is a slight mistake.
Yeah.
This one is a 26. But I think I would have looked at these 2 plays as well, because I probably would have made the same mistake that Hideaki does by moving the first 2 checkers from the rear.
Yeah.
But okay, now he moves back. Let's see if he can find it.
Yeah, he sees the full rewind. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
the full rewind. I mean, 14 to 9 is my first 5 because that's just. I mean, you just gotta make the 9 point. It's a blocking point, and it's a landing space for your rear checkers.
Yeah.
So
but
that's
your
my
opponent's
first
about
5.
to have to play a role, and like a 6 is not fun, right? So
Yeah.
I see that. I think that's the main logic in playing 20 to 5 here, along with the 14 to 9.
Yeah.
You're going to get another blot a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's true, and you've got nothing to be scared of. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got a way stronger inner board. You can play quite freely here, quite bold. Just maximize your flexibility. Okay, so he does hit. Okay, I like that play. I think this would be the play that I would have found as well. But
It's natural.
It's natural. There was a slightly better play out there, but it's difficult to find. 6. And what about the ace? Are we splitting the 15 point? That would be the easiest way to bring them home, but you do leave some fly shots here.
Good point. Well, there's still a blot on the ace and a 2-point board, so now's the time to do it.
Yes.
But you get a checker into your board by doing the 7 to 6 with risking almost nothing immediately. So it's hard to take what looks like a bunch of like bloody play and make that when the gains aren't super clear. It's just that you don't lose anything on it too, right? So.
I think that it is like a short-term risk versus long-term risk decision here because there is a gain here. Every time Mochy rolls a 3, Hideaki is really happy that he split the anchor like now because now it's going to be easier for him to clear his bring his checkers home. Now he's really happy that he split the anchor. It would have been annoying to have the anchor on the 15 point. Now he's got one on the 14 point. No, look, he shouldn't even anchor up here. Again, he should not anchor.
I see the top play looks great. 14.
Oh, yes. A mistake by Hideaki. Something we're not used to seeing.
Has to take advantage of the 2 blots. Is he?
Yes.
No, he's not in time trouble either. So I'm not sure why he rushed that play. He would usually think a lot more.
Yeah, I think he didn't see it. It didn't come to his mind.
Yeah, I was looking for. I mean, that's the first thing I looked for is how do I take advantage of these 2 blots? You know, what's the bigger thing I can do again to avoid that awkwardness coming home. So.
And now there is a bit of awkwardness here. He's got a lot of contact value. Which now he has to let go of the anchor on the midpoint, unfortunately, which is a pain in the butt.
And now I think Mochy's got a bit of that smirk, knowing that he's getting wrecked with luck here.
I don't think that's the right idea, Mochy, because getting hit here could be severe. You can lose a gammon if you get hit. Yeah, look how much gammon. The engine says you can lose 25% gammon with this play. So that is a blunder. And you do win 1%. No, not even 1%. 0.3% more games.
Yeah. He's had some real disasters, though. Like, how do you come up with 3s here? This is just not a good roll. I think about anything else is fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Maybe deuces are worse.
I don't think so. They look like they probably play pretty clean.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's actually true. They can be played clean. I think Mochy, he's looking at the 6-1 and the 6-5 here. Where he would be
wants
gaining.
to keep contact. Yep. But it's too much. It's a 5-point board, and you don't even get to make yourself a 5-point board. So
exactly, he realizes now it's too big.
But he's got the right. I mean, that's what anyone coming into this match needs to have. That like, how do I find a way to win first kind of attitude, right? You got to realize when you need to dial it back, but you got to look for it. Yeah. Wow.
You got to look for it. That's right. I liked it. Mochy, he's just making sure that no tactics are passing him unnoticed.
Okay.
Double 6s. Okay, just one more of those, and then he's.
That saves a lot of gammons.
It does, yeah. It does.
That's very nice, yeah.
It's so difficult to win this game. He's got 4.3% winning chances here, Mochy.
Yeah.
It's a really crappy position.
Yeah.
Do you run? I guess you run, because otherwise you're going to bury a checker.
With Hideaki's ripping play that he did last roll, like there's just not much risk, right? 3-1, it could be the worst, and even this is not so bad.
I don't think Hideaki should hit here. He shouldn't hit and cover. I think that's the wrong idea.
Interesting.
I think
I would have thought to do this because I would assume, his gammons go up, but he doesn't get it. He loses too many wins.
Yeah, exactly, because now Mochy can come in with an ace all of a sudden and have much more contact. What about...
Yeah, but there's still, I see like 11 pips outside. That's over 10% gammons, so you're fighting for something, is what I'm thinking. But I guess the distribution of the checkers isn't great either.
Okay, so. A small mistake here from Hideaki. The best play would simply just to check a checker off, 4-0, take off the checker, just leave him there on the 3-point and take as many checkers off as you want, or as you can. Double force, I guess. Okay, now he plays aggressively all of a sudden.
Well, now he went for the gammon, so he's got to keep going for it, right?
Yeah. It's actually a brilliant play, because there is a little hope of gammon present here. So Mochy is now
Mochy at a
thinking.
.32.
It's making it difficult for Hideaki.
Unfortunately, Hideaki gets to take that 3-1 to plus court too, so maybe it'll come out okay.
Yeah. Okay, 3-1.
Things are getting awkward.
So the 3 is easy, and what about the ace? How aggressive do you want to be for the gammon? Wow, you actually do have to take it off.
Yeah, I think in these spots, if you do get hit eventually, each checker is worth close to 10% winning chances. So I think you're just trying to get them off and hope it works. It's not even about the gammons anymore, I don't think.
That's true.
Yeah. Because obviously you're going to have a lot of awkward rolls even if you make the distribution clear from the rear, right?
You're absolutely right, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
It is about getting checkers off is really advantageous in all the scenarios where you do get hit.
There's a lot of scenarios too where Mochy just leaves. Maybe not a lot.
Yes,
I don't know what he does with 6-5, but
that's true. So that was a great play from Hideaki. Yeah. And a good roll here from Mochy, actually. He gets to stay one more roll now that he actually has a chance of hitting. So there are definitely some bad rolls here. 6-5, 6-4, 6-3.
Must be a lot of numbers, yeah.
Okay, 5-1 was not one of them. Now Mochy has to leave. Oh, that's
most likely.
Most likely.
Ooh,
no.
He stays again.
He stays. Yeah, Mochy is at a .29 PR and Hideaki is at a 1.99. It's so close.
I was about to say that Backgammon was live, but...
Now Mochy's going to run, I think. No, he's not. So he's going to break the 6-point. No, actually, 4-ply... He wants to play 3-1 with 2 checkers.
I don't know
wow,
what sense that makes.
That
Whatever.
Is a difficult play to find. Again, it's going to be taken to the XG++ court. It's a double shot. It's a double shot. Oh no, wait, it's a single shot. It's a single shot. It's a single shot.
Is that the best you can do here?
It's the best. Yeah, just shift from. Yeah, exactly. It's the only way to give a single shot.
But he's got real gammon chances now. That's interesting.
Okay, 4-3. He does 44% gammon.
Oh.
Wow, he's so lucky.
Huge favorite for a gammon now.
What
Force plus. Force plus.
Yeah.
Another 2-1. Ooh.
The position was essentially gammonless. I think we were down to 3 or 4% gammon or something.
Wow.
We proudly announce that the UBC 2021 Contender Tournament will be held at the beautiful Caleta Hotel in Gibraltar. Schedule available soon.
Melbourne Backgammon International.
I mean, to his credit, he's like, I think, right in the average PR race and everything, doing amazing when he's getting the dice too. And I do find it's harder to keep your PR down when you're getting like major jokers and kind of having to, True. So he's doing everything that he can with it, which is great.
Definitely. Yeah. He's playing amazingly. So it's not that it's unfair or anything.
Right.
But we've seen it's been quite one-sided so far in terms of luck rating.
It tends to even out, but then randomness doesn't work that Mochis do or anything, right? No. So it just might not. Yeah. Been a great in the driver's seat.
Okay, so this one double deuces. That's interesting.
You have to make the 4, right? I'm not hitting. Yeah. Oh wow! Look at this. Hitting is right.
Yeah. My gut feeling was towards the hit as well, because if you don't hit, then he's already achieved 50% of his mission, his freedom mission. So it's just, I mean, I wasn't sure, because you improve your structure so much as well by making the 4-point, but it's just so annoying to allow him to be 50% done with his freedom mission.
This strips your midpoint too. This is tough.
But he found the right play. The triple split. Well played, Mochy.
Very good.
Very good play, yeah. Okay, so now he needs to make the golden point. It's a pretty good shot. And we actually have an even game. What is he looking at here? There's nothing else.
Deeper contact maybe is all I can think of, but this is it.
This is an even game. It's almost 50-50 here.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. The hit comes with a little.
The 3 is interesting because maybe you can double hit as well. Oh yes, exactly. Because I was thinking 13 to 10 to unstack. That would be the best one. But of course you got a double hit. It's better.
Ooh, what a shot. Now he gets to figure out what to do with a good set of 3s this time. This could be better to come off the mid. Yeah, I kind of like this because you don't need it as much with the anchor.
And it's a double hit.
It's a good structural like priming point too, right?
Yes, it's a great move. Double hitting is really important. Sending a third man back.
And this is getting volatile enough where you can start thinking about cubes. Almost certainly not with 3s, but
any viewer watching this, whoever sent me an email about rigged dice on Backgammon Galaxy, please look what happens in live Backgammon. Okay, it's just dice. They only got 6 sides on them. Jokers come all the time.
I think Mochy's winning this game now, right?
Yes, he does have a great edge here. He has the more advanced anger and he has the pure structure.
And the game might be too long to think about a cube. I guess.
Yes. It's a very close game.
But it's got the good like volatility and gammons that you want to send in a trailing position. So these are
no, it doesn't have volatility because when it's a back game position, not too much equity can swing in a single roll because there's simply too many back checkers. So
okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I think he should wait. This is an interesting roll here because
I like his play. That looks. I mean, the purity looks really smart here.
It's nice. I think I would do it as well. But I think the deuce must be played from 6 to 4. And then the question is, what about the 6? Do we just cover? Which I think we do, even though the 10 point is quite nice as well.
That's a very good point. And look at this. The bot doesn't want to do that at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's close.
This is what I was thinking as well, but...
But it's the 2 game plan thing that looks nice about making the 4. But you do end up with a spare on the 6 that you don't want there. It's misplaced with so many checkers back. So I see the problem. Yeah.
But look at the engine's play here, how beautiful that actually is. Playing 2 from the 22 point. Going out of the back game. Mobilizing your back checkers to try to work more in the outfield. Gain mobility. It's actually a beautiful play. And you just keep your front position intact. Yep. This is the human play, making the 4 point, which probably most players would make.
But it's an even race, and it's not a back game. It just clearly isn't, and that's so you need to do something with your back checkers, and you need to do it soon. And I mean that makes a lot of sense. So he's keeping the safety valve in the 22 and doesn't see that it can just do a single anchor game.
This is a fine move as well, Mochy. This is also okay.
Yeah.
It's just when you see the 6 first, okay, he makes this play. I think if he had moved the 6 first from 22 to 16, maybe he would have found that the deuce from 22 to 20 was better than 24 to 22.
Yeah.
Because you prefer to have the goalkeeper maximize contact and then have a playable spare checker on the 20 point ready to jump.
Right.
You don't really need the back game here.
This is quite interesting. There's no reason to give up a piece of structure to hit here, so just 13 to 10 is fine.
Good play. Good play.
These ones are tricky though. A lot of counterintuitive moves.
Oh yes, this is not in a simple position.
Now, you can make the 16, but those points look a little clumped, and I don't see my 5, so I don't know about this either.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is the 5, right? Because it is nice to make the 16.
Yeah, the 21 to 11 or 22 to 11 looks like a great play. I'm not sure I saw that. I think I was looking at 16 to 5, maybe.
Yeah.
That makes some sense to me.
Yes,
but
10 to 5. This is ugly, Mochy. But it's a difficult play. I think he's going to make this play. Yeah, he makes it.
That surprises me in such a strategic kind of, interesting holding game like this. You really can't afford checkers behind like that. So.
But he likes the 16 point. That's why. He really liked the 16 point. The connectivity and the robustness, not the robustness, the solidity of having an outfield point.
Yeah, I actually don't though, because if we look at this, a point's going to go really soon. They're not actually working all that well together 4 apart like that, right? So it doesn't feel like the right place for it. You just want one of those points to leave as soon as you make it, right? So why are you going to do that?
But maybe you can now. I mean, I get your point. But I think it's only halfway true because sometimes you can leave from the 20 point because you got that 16 point and. It is. I mean, points are useful either as landing spaces or as blocking.
Sure.
And the 16 point is quite good for blocking, actually.
Yeah.
It gained some control of the outfield.
Yeah.
So
All things equal, you make a point. I do agree with you.
Exactly. But I mean, you're pointing out the weakness of Mochy's play, definitely.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. I like the productive board point thing, but that's a blunder, and he finds a much better play.
Yeah.
Both sides are so incented to just try to move towards a race. That's very interesting to me, and get out of being primed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Get out of being primed. That was a clear problem with making the 4 point. First of all, it's a point behind the anchor, and you're still getting primed. This way, he's getting out of getting primed.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good play.
First thing I see is simple plays again, and wow, is that 10 making the 4 point close now.
Yeah.
I guess, he really has no board to punish it with. He can't afford to use the ace to hit necessarily. He's going to leave a lot of shots, so
yeah.
I like that. It's a clever find, even if it wasn't the top play necessarily.
Yeah, it was the second best play. The best play would have been to run all the way with the back checker, 22.
Which is what I saw right away. Just like it seems like how this game needs to develop.
Yes, exactly. But Mochy does have some blitz value here.
Wow, he looks at this very quickly, and I'm never thinking about hitting here. But that's the bot play.
Yeah,
what else are you going to do?
That's the thing. It's a really ugly alternative. And now he's looking at the wrong variation of the wrong idea.
Wow.
So if you want to play 6-1, 10-8 is a better deuce. But I mean, this is a tough move. This is a really tough move. And we see it's almost a blunder from Hideaki.
Yeah,
tough move.
We've seen that he tends to think about those and maybe tends towards that style of game.
Yeah.
So not surprising to see it. And in that one, I think I would make a similar play. I would not find the loose hit necessarily. I guess the blot on the ace is good incentive, though, to go for it, too, at the moment.
So now he's going to play safe with the 10-6, yes. And then this is my play as well, but as we can see, it's actually second best.
Yeah, more
it's
contact. It's
apparently better to keep the contact. Yeah, punish the weakness of your opponent's position by maximizing the contact zone. But yeah, I mean, surprisingly enough, Mochy makes a small mistake. I think it would have made the same mistake. What about this? What about this? Is it still too early? Oh, okay.
Oh, cube, this is a long game still, I think.
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
Switch and switch, yes.
He's got so many checkers back that it's not a real attack. But yeah, I like that. Yeah, that flat on the ace too.
If he fans, okay, maybe this could be a cube. Yeah.
At the score, I was forgetting the score.
That's the thing. It's the score, and it is a cube.
Yeah.
It is.
He's just got the position dominated. So does Hideaki have to think about passing this now with a single checker back, losing the race, and outstructured? Even with those,
nah.
There's so many checkers back, but
yeah, I find it difficult to pass this one. Yeah, there's so many checkers back, and he's got a lot of blocking structure, Hideaki. Not in a traditional priming formation, but all around the board. There's a lot of obstacles there for Mochy to bring his checkers home.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like the cube decision is break even and huge take.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll find
it
that.
Makes sense. Yeah. Good cube from Mochy. He's putting pressure on Hideaki here. He's giving him an opportunity to make a mistake. I mean, I would be very surprised if Hideaki were to pass this one.
Yeah. Hideaki's got room to play behind Mochy too. Going back to that play where he didn't maintain maximum contact.
Yeah. Oh wow! He drops it.
Wow.
Mochy is back in this match.
Wow, that was big. Yeah.
That was really big.
The new 2021 Galaxy Earthboard is a tournament luxury board optimized for travel. Pre-order now. Details in the description below.
Okay, you saw some ghosts there that I couldn't see.
It's the single checker back thing. It's hard to take when you have full freedom, or just a 5-point anchor. A lot of these things, those are passable cubes. But I think those back 5 checkers, one of them was kind of like a midpoint but a little back. It was more like an anchor though. And there's just too much work to do to let that go.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But I'm sure the score played a huge factor in it too. Where
it definitely that made it tricky. But we could see Mochy was just a 57% favorite, small favorite.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge surprise to Hideaki, I'm sure.
Oh yes, finally we saw a big blunder.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm cheering for it, but it's like
he's human.
He's human. Yeah.
Yeah.
So critical moment. I mean, I remember, Nick, I don't know if you remember, in my match against Mochy in the UBC Contender Tournament, the televised match, I made a somewhat similar blunder to this, like an early blitz. I was up 4-1 or something to 7, and it was also like a 300 or something.
Oh, wow.
Quite similar, and the thing is with the score, it can be tricky, you know, if you overestimate the gammon chances of your opponent a bit, you start to see ghosts.
I do know, like, a really helpful rule of thumb there is to consider what you would do in that situation for money. And if you can find that you would never send that cube for money,
then it's usually a take,
and it's
right?
a pretty easy take, yeah.
But
I'm not sure. I might think that I could send that cube for money, and then you're in trouble again. So
yes.
It's a difficult one, man. I really don't know.
Oh, here Mochy should play pure. Look at the second best play, how beautiful that is. The triple slot. It's because he already established double anchor in his opponent's home board, and his opponent doesn't have a developed prime. So he can play with absolute purity here.
Interesting, yeah.
Wow, if he makes that, okay, this is the normal play.
Yeah,
this
making the 7 looks better than the 3 to me,
Yes.
but I don't find that triple slot.
The reason the 7 point is better is because of purity. When you're in a back game, you're way down in the race, you need to play pure. But wow, if he had found the triple slot, how cool would that have been? I saw it, you know, I was looking at it. I think I would have just done like Mochy did, but at least for the viewers, I would have moved it just to say, hey, you know, have a look at this play as well.
I like the thought here too, but just coming up to the edge is too good. You just want freedom, you know. I mean, but you feel the pressure to develop something in these games, right? And so you start unstacking the 6 behind before it's too late. Yeah.
I think that's just the process that the thought process Hideaki had there. It's the same for Hideaki, that in a back game position, even though this is a very early back game position, purity and efficiency is very important. Are very important. It's not just about race and safety, you know, because one player is already down 43 pips.
This is an annoying roll. I don't think you can touch the anchor. You're clearly doing something with the midpoint, but 2 down isn't as productive as you want. You hate giving up the outfield, but you can't play so deep. So I guess that's just what you do, right?
Yeah, it's just 2 down.
Yeah.
Making the deuce point is actually somewhat, I mean, it's not constructive, but at least it's not super destructive. This is not good. You don't want to make the ace.
Oh, and he just does it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's not good.
Yeah, that doesn't even...
That was a blunder, Mochy.
I don't know what the idea is here.
Most likely,
this is 4th match of the day. They could be getting tired. It could be, and they've played some challenging backgammon. Neither of them's really letting much loose at all. So
that's true. And I think it's the first blunder we've seen from Mochy since match 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
just the wrong idea.
He's excused.
In a sense, that's a very basic concept too, right? Like, I mean, one of the first things I would try to teach someone in playing back games is don't make a deep point, right?
Yeah.
It's done that, your back game's a little lost. I guess this is not a back game either, right?
It's an early back game because of the establishment of a double anchor. So you could say, not that it's going to steer into a late back game. It might not, but it is an early back game. So purity is a concept that carries a whole lot of weight in this type of position.
And he's successfully confused the game enough that, like, he's supposed to make another deep point, right?
This time it's actually impressive if he does it.
Yeah.
Because here I think most players would just clear the midpoint, including myself. Wow, okay, that's a good play. That's a really good play, actually.
He's stubborn. He wants the connectivity with the rest of his army, you know?
Oh, this was a cue from Hideaki. Wow, because of the poor purity of Mochy, he can actually...
I'm never finding that at the score.
Exactly. But the winning chances are so high.
But this is absolute trash on Mochy's side, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, that's
don't hit. Oh, that was a blunder. It's a premature back game hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now he can't even take the
Passable.
cube. He's probably going to take it, actually, if Hideaki doubles.
This is the kind of theory cube, though, where you just play on and know it's not a big error and you're probably too good before you actually have a cube. It's hard to find these, I think, you know?
It's a super narrow doubling window. And
Very
now Hideaki
close.
has the choice, do he hit once or twice?
Yeah.
And he chooses
goes
the
for
right
twice.
one. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's good because it's against the 1-5 back game. It's not so scary.
Which the 1-5 doesn't even really play like a back game. You can call it a back game if you want, but it's just like, I mean, that's, you basically pass. There's good rules for all the other back games about like clearing 3 points in front of it and when to double and all that stuff. The 1-5, you just get off the 1-5 and play a different game, you know?
Yeah, the shots has to come early in the early phase. If it's developed to a late game back game, you're kind of screwed. Which is the case
So
here.
as discussed, now we're just clearly too good.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's a good decision from Hideaki. I think he realizes
Yeah.
that he's too good now.
Yeah.
Mochy has a horrible position with the deeper points made.
And I think the theory here is no second anchors. I don't know why you lift. I would just take it from the 8.
Yes, because you want to play pure.
Right.
This is impure and inflexible. So if you want to hit, just leave it there.
Yeah.
Hitting in the outfield is not a good idea because then you're giving your opponent a chance to make a triple anchor, which would be the best thing Mochy could possibly do right now. Yeah, this is a play. Good
game
play.
if he can make the 21. Yeah, so you just can't let it happen. And if he gets hit, there's no structure to contain him anyway. So there's almost no risk here either.
It's a good play from Hideaki, the one he's looking at here. I think he's gonna find it. Yeah, wow, strong play. Impressively strong play. He had a lot of ways to fall into a trap there.
Man, is he throwing bad dice here. I guess you just come in on the 5 and take one off the 24.
Yeah, that's my play. I don't see why the other play is better.
He's just so desperate to make any other anchor than the ace. And if he can do that, he's got some game.
Yes, okay. What about
so
this
do you
one?
make the deuce point here just because of that?
No, I want the 4 point, not the deuce point.
I really don't want my import. Yeah, look at how close these are. I really don't want my opponent to improve from the 24 to the 23.
Oh, okay. I was actually considering the third move, making the deuce point. I can see the double hit. I like that's better because you play more pure. You don't put as many checkers in deep.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of a weird variation he's looking at now, where you're moving the deuce.
Yeah.
So covering and hitting. Yeah, this is the best play according to the
no
bot.
flexibility. If he roll,
Now you're less scared of the triple back game because if he gets a deuce, he's gonna crunch with the other die unless he rolls 2-6 or 2-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little bit too impure.
This seems like a really good option. Yeah, I think I can see why you do this. You don't need to make it, so that's kind of the main problem with it. But yeah, no spare on the 6. But conceptually I like this. I think that's a good idea. Just prevent the better back game.
Yeah. That's your thought process. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about the purity and the flexibility by making that, because you're making that gap on the 4 point all of a sudden. That's not nice, you know. You want to play
Very
pure.
True. That could be a problem. Yeah.
But it's tricky. I mean, it's very tricky. It's difficult to be Hideaki in this spot. Okay, he does make it makes sense, and it's a reasonable move.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a bad move for Mochy. It's still way too good, of course.
Ooh, what do we do with this? This is
1,
bad.
2, 3,
yeah, now
4. Yeah.
Now the gap on the 4 looks to be maybe permanent. And it's going to be tough to make that. So,
5,
good
6.
shot. Good shot. Okay.
Yes.
There's a little bit of hope in this position for Mochy now. Some things have gone wrong enough. Yeah. Can we afford to just make it here? That's why.
No, it's his right idea. But again, he misses a cube now. Now it's not too good anymore because now Mochy actually has a bit of winning chances. Not a lot, but and Hideaki, the lead is he's 3 away, 6 away. It's not like he's 2 away, 7 away or something like this. He's 3 away, 6 away. There are cubes. I mean, okay, now he's back. He's probably playing on too good to double now. But this is a little bit risky, you know. He's winning 28% here, Mochy. Hideaki should have doubled.
I'm just not finding that. I'm confused if I'm too good or if I'm good enough. Look at this. He has a take.
Oh, wow. It's a super narrow doubling window.
Like, just how do you find that? You know, it's I think like even the robot humans are just generally gonna ignore this and play on. You know, it's just it's too tough to find. You risk too much.
I think if he rolls a 3, he should hit. Oh, that's a horrible shot.
Yeah, that's a tough decision too. Are you really ready? Yeah.
I think he is. I think he is ready.
Yeah.
If he gets the 3. Yeah, that's actually he does. There's the 3. Oh yes, he's gonna hit and he's gonna come out. I think even though you could unstack the 20 point, I think it's probably better to come out with the 21 point blot, just to decrease exposure.
I like this 20 to 14 personally.
Okay. Mochy was right. Okay. My bad.
I mean, the numbers look duplicated, kind of. There's interesting things going on that way.
Yeah, that's actually true. And you got the better board. Why be so paranoid? You should play the one that gives you better flexibility. That's a poor roll because he should have exploited the fan of Hideaki to gain more outfield control and bring checkers to the outfield, but he can't.
Now maybe the 21 to 20 is better. I don't know. No, it's not. Wow, it's really
blunder.
big.
It's really bad. You want the flexibility.
The checker on the 21 is somehow very important, is what we're learning from those last two.
Yes.
Then that it's getting additional contact that we're not really seeing.
Oh, is it making the blunder? And it's also because of the threes could be played from 21 to 24 to 21, and then you got the double anger. Yeah, this is really.
Oh, you want to make that?
Yeah, you can make it as well. You got better outfield control, flexibility, and you can make that beautiful anger there.
I was thinking we're just trying to get those checkers out and contain now, but yeah, I guess this is a long game, and maybe you have to plan on being back there a while.
It's just very nice, I mean, the checker on the 24 point right now it could be a liability. If Hideaki enters, he could get blitzed. Oh, there's the blunder.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Okay,
the
it
register
turned green.
just as an error.
Yeah,
okay.
it turned green, but his PR went up.
I thought it looked like it was registering as a blunder too, which is surprising to me. It's hard to imagine how that could be. You know, it looks reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks good. Just get another checker involved in the containment battle. And it might be a little while till Mochy's the favorite, but he's doing well.
He's
or
doing
favorite
quite
enough
well.
to cube.
Yeah. 33.9% winning chances. He wants to hit here. He wants the 5.
He's got to dodge a lot of bullets in the meantime.
Okay.
So what about 6 out and meet the 12? I kind of...
that's the 3, and then the 6 from the 12 point. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's the 3.
Yes. Because that's the best way to gain outfield control.
I see. Yeah. Good
lot
point.
of the rolls, Hideaki's going to end up somewhere in the outfield. Yeah,
he must be considering making the 15 instead of just cleaning this up.
Yes, exactly. But it's too bad to get hit with a 5.
And look at how close the margins are on this. And this is maybe, to me, a findable cube after this, too.
Yeah.
Hideaki has clear market losers, right? When he gets hit, he still has a chance. He can
yes.
all the time.
Oh, yes. I think so. I think this is a good cube. It's very volatile, this position. If he rolls like a 6-5, the game is all over. Yeah, so this is
and
a
somehow
huge cube.
Mochy has to try to find a take. Maybe, not a big error available. But it is now it's like, big mistake to miss this. So he really needs to...
Because of the volatility, it's so volatile. He has so many game-winning sequences here, Hideaki. And Mochy can just barely squeeze out a take. But it's narrow.
Super efficient cube, Wow, this has been still a wild game to watch Mochy claw his way back into this, right? When it looked like a disaster. Didn't he how did we get here? Okay, cube hasn't happened yet. Yeah, I was thinking that he had to take a tough cube, but he didn't. Yeah.
No, the cube is not okay. There's the good cube from Hideaki. Beautiful play.
Great fight.
And now he's putting Mochy in a tough spot because even though we see that it's very, very close, for Mochy sitting there, this is a tough decision.
And whatever happens, Hideaki is in a little bit of time trouble now too, and I think that's a real problem for him. Whereas I think Mochy plays great when he's playing fast too.
Could be.
I think Hideaki is less comfortable when he's rushed.
He's definitely less experienced actually, and maybe that was also something we saw with that when he dropped the cube. I don't think we would ever see Mochy drop that cube. Just he doesn't really have the same experience as Mochy has.
Yeah. So it's possible, and to just misunderstand a position that you haven't ever seen before when you haven't seen all the positions yet, right?
Yes, or you simply haven't made the blunder enough times,
Yeah.
That's often how it goes. You have to make this blunder 5 or 10 times before it really sticks to it.
I'm sure it'll be a memorable one for him. You know, they've both got their share of those things this match so far already.
Mochy's thinking here. It's such a difficult decision because it's tactical as well. It's not just looking at the assets and liabilities positionally. It's got so much tactics. So now he's calculating. He's looking through all the numbers of Hideaki. How does all the numbers play? How does 6-5, 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, 6-1? How do all the numbers play? What about the doubles? He's trying to estimate, okay, how many numbers will I get a shot? How often will I hit that shot? What if I hit, how often will I win after I hit a shot?
That's the big feature to me is the kind of like couple plies down the road. When you do hit a shot, you have an open 5 and 3, and you have a lot of work to do to win this game.
Yes, it would be so much easier to take this if you had a pure 4', rather than the deep points made.
So also looking at Hideaki's structure, like just how trashy it is pretty impressive too, right? Like he has no flexibility, like already 5 extra checkers on the deuce and 3. So interesting one.
Yeah, Mochy drops. I mean, I think I like the drop. I think it's fair. He realized he had a very weak position. Super difficult to find the take.
Improve your backgammon skills by reading the best books on the market. Available on Amazon. Links in the description below.
I would love to hear how he's even trying to evaluate that, right? Because, I mean, beyond all the difficulties of estimating wins and gammons, there's the score considerations and what that means once you get there. So, oof.
Oh, this is a good play from Mochy.
That's really interesting. I did not know that one, but it's an aggressive score thing, huh?
And Hideaki just punishes him.
Shot.
But
I do actually kind of know this interesting, like the 4-3 down, the 4s like to still play to the 9. That's an interesting thing.
Yeah, wow, what an unlucky sequence from Mochy. But I noticed that with the double 4s from Hideaki, it would have been actually a bit better not to hit.
Yeah, that's a second roll theme for sure.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that as a third roll thing. Yeah.
For contact, he needs to come out for sure.
And he's on the ropes already. Jeez.
Yeah, Hideaki is just rolling incredibly well.
And it's lucky in the time bank for the PR too, right? To like get a nice blitzing position and just roll home and win a gammon in a game. So yeah. What does Mochy do here? I don't think he can split off the back, of course. So
no, it's either this or 8-4. It seems to be slightly worse, his play. That's just 2 down. I guess that's just 2 down, right? Why wouldn't it be 2 down? Is he considering playing 10-4? That's ugly. I mean, I think there's a very clear reason why 2 down is better. He shouldn't be scared of the fly shots here. That's a poor play, because Mochy has an underdeveloped position. He actually needs his full roll to develop his position next time.
Yes.
So if he's coming out with a fly shot, he's not dangerous, you know.
Yeah. I think the things that would push you to consider it are just the score considerations, efficient cube. You're winning the race, right? So why get into a back and forth? But I think he'll find the right play.
I would be surprised. He's down to 55 seconds.
Yep. This is what he does, though. He like has to convince himself.
Oh, yeah, that's an ugly play. I really dislike that play.
Yeah.
It hurts in my.
As we know, he likes those kinds of plays. This is a
system. But he usually finds the best play. You know?
Yeah.
He usually finds the best play. He usually looks at the ugly one and then he finds the best play. And sometimes it is the ugly one, but this one was just ugly. He had a.
Oh, and this is an interesting consideration too. Why not think about the cube here? And wow, okay, huge error.
Yeah, because if he doubles now, he's doubling to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's not quite defined enough with the open 5 point. That makes sense.
No, he's too weak. He has a very high doubling point here because he's essentially doubling to 4.
And his game plan is wrong again, playing to the 4. He needs to fix his structure and just hit on the ace that last roll. That was interesting.
Nice. Yeah, while Mochy was still underdeveloped. Okay, that's a lucky roll.
Yeah.
That's a really, really lucky roll.
No, I think this is where you do want to double the 4. I don't think you care about too good. I think you can potentially cash it.
Now he's way better, in way better shape. He can stop up. Okay, he just rolls. It seems to be. I just saw the cube, so probably on a lower analysis level, it said it was a cube, and then it disappeared. It wasn't an error, but I think it's very close now for. Wow, 6-1, perfect shot.
Ooh. Is it perfect? It's bad, isn't it?
Oh no, he needs to come out. It's a great shot. His winning chances just went up 10% or something like this.
Yeah. Okay.
He needs to come out.
Yeah, and he doesn't fear the gammons too much. He's just going to cube if he gets a chance.
3-point board versus 3-point board. It's a great shot to come out. Look at this. He's got the rack.
Nice.
4s cover, 6s come out. Okay, 5-1 covers the ace. Also pretty good. He's up to 30% winning chances. Okay, he's far from a cube, obviously. 6s and deuces are good. 5-1
It's tough to know when he's far from a cube since he can win a gammon here, you know?
But he needs to be at least close to being an even money favorite. He's still a big underdog.
I guess if he rolls the 6, he's still in a worse priming position.
Yeah,
right? He's
exactly.
got to get the 2 to get up to the edge. So.
Yeah,
Well, the 2 is very big. Oh wow, he just automatically.
Yeah. Good play. Okay. We're still. I think he's one step. Right now, he's 2 steps away from losing his market. He needs to be 1 step away. So he needs a 6. Oh, that's nasty.
Not a good roll.
Yeah, that's nasty.
And now he needs the 6 to think about it for sure.
He needs a 6.
And then it still won't be clear with timing. Yeah.
Now he definitely needs a 6 or at least a deuce.
Which is better, do you think, here?
4-1. Okay, he's an underdog here. We can see the winning chances. He's got 42.7%.
But if he doesn't win this, he's going to lose a lot of gammons. So this is an interesting one to me.
Yeah.
I guess I think. Oh, interesting. I would have stayed back to gain the double ones to come up to the edge.
Yeah. I guess why is it?
Oh, and it calls 8-4. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
It was slightly better. Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah.
What about? Yeah. Now I think it's better to just play this one. Now I don't want to step up to the 23 point.
Can he cube this yet? Oh wow. There's so much volatility. I like the cube.
Oh yeah. It could be a cube.
They have it on the wrong roll because he didn't fan yet. But
yeah.
I think 55-22. Yeah,
it's a cube. It's a cube
for sure.
It's volatile.
Actually, it's not clear that it's a. Okay, yeah. the gammon price is not big enough for it to be maybe a pass.
No,
so
and
it's not the full punish on the 22.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Okay. And it's just an initial cube. I mean, you can't drop when you got 45% winning chances. Okay, this is a big mistake from Mochy.
Wow.
And now he's gonna miss one more cube.
Yeah.
Okay, he gets the deuce. Now he lost his market.
But I do think it's something where you can even consider. Where like Hideaki might consider passing this, and so it becomes even bigger.
Okay, now it's a cube, Mochy. Okay, yeah, now it's a cube. Good.
Yeah. We might be. Wow. See, look at this. Like that huge swing just coming up to the edge. I can't believe this is that big of a.
That's why he should have doubled before, because he loses his market just by coming up to the edge.
Right. The other part of this is that.
Oh, look at the time. He's just taking air.
Mochy can still crack and win this game too. Is a big thing.
Hideaki has 26 seconds left. Okay, now he passes. He passes.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait.
This was a huge pass.
Sorry. It was a huge pass.
Huge pass.
My bad. My bad. But did you see how nonchalant he was sitting with his little fan there? Like 30 seconds left on the clock and just like.
This is the Take Point Backgammon scoreboard, a scoreboard for winners. Order yours now on takepoint.pro.
It's not like Mochy to miss a cube like that, I don't think, though. I feel like he decided to ship him that. That's bizarre.
I was a little bit disappointed on Mochy there. A little bit of rustiness in terms of these blitz versus prime positions.
They both have some challenges with the clock. That could be part of it.
Oh, yes, that's true. Mochy is actually hard pressed as well. He's down to 50 seconds. Mm-hmm. Wow.
2-way, 5-way is a good score. Fun.
Yeah, I guess unstacking takes precedence. Yeah.
Yeah. Blotting board for the indirects.
Yes. Even though coming up with the deuce is also good.
Mm-hmm.
And now Hideaki faces a similar. I think slip splitting is right because he already unstacked the midpoint.
Okay.
And now the.
I like the containment deuce. He was after a 6-5 too, but it's a well placed on the 11 when you have one checker back. I just like it for that. So. But splitting's important too. So.
Splitting is important, yeah, it is. And the umpire here, he just got the opening roll from Hideaki wrong. He played the splitting play with 2-1, or the opening reply rather than the slotting play. Great shot from Mochy. He's out.
He's keeping up with a pretty fast pace of play though, so good job to him. Okay, so he cannot cube yet. He's too underdeveloped, but he should definitely be careful though.
Oh, the double hit! No. It's just don't double hit, Mochy. Don't double hit. You're too underdeveloped. Just improve your structure. It's nice. The 11 point is a great asset. Double 3. Catches up in the race a bit.
Yeah, great roll for him.
Yes, I like 6-3 better here than 13-10. It's more efficient.
Yeah, true.
6-1 from. Oh, maybe just making the bars better here. 0 shots. Is that the right idea? You give him double.
I would make the 5 in a heartbeat, but I can see why. Wow, it is by a lot.
It's clear. You don't want to leave the fly shots, and it's
interesting.
It's really helpful the bar point here. Again, this idea about what's the function of a point. And I mean, the 7 point here just makes it so much easier to bring the last remaining 4 back checkers home.
Sure, this is efficient. Ooh, what does he do with this?
He needs to stack a bit. Play 2 from the 8, I think.
Ugh.
Play 2 from the 8, Mochy. You don't have much time left.
You hate doing it, though. But he's got the right kind of plan, creeping up on an efficient cube, I guess, here. Well, no, sorry. I don't know if he prefers that, given that he's trailing.
No, the race is not... yeah, exactly. It's a gammonless position. And therefore, he cannot double aggressively. He must double as normal.
And there's no way to not leave a shot here, I don't think. This is ugly.
Oh, no. At least make the 9 then. If you want to leave a shot, yeah, that's the alternative. But making the 9...
Oh, he can do that. Whoa.
Oh.
That's a big one.
Oh, yes. He needed time. He needed time in his time bank to make the right decision.
Yeah.
We're seeing Mochy make a couple of blunders, and I think it's because of the time management. He pointed it out himself that if you were to point out one weakness in his game, it would be the time management. And I think this is what we're seeing now. I mean, obviously he's still averaging below 2.5 over the first 4 matches, but
has he given back enough to outweigh Hideaki's like 300 cube mistake, you know? And I think maybe
still.
we're getting not quite, but we're getting close.
Not quite. We're getting closer, yeah. But it's also like in terms of the average PR, Mochy had a great chance of really distancing himself in the average PR, but now the average PR is still quite close, you know.
Very true. Very true.
Good play here from Hideaki, breaking the angle for contact play. But wow, we see Mochy
instantly punished. Yep.
Get some luck, and he needs to minimize shot. That's too safe, but he's minimizing shots because he could have won.
Oh, this is an even race.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think he should have increased the blitz value and then cubed, because then you would have the blitzing volatility.
He might have overestimated his racing chances in this kind of a scenario.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
Yes. He probably didn't really have the race. He should have the race in his mind.
Yeah.
2-1. That's an unlucky roll for Hideaki.
But as the two-way player and two-way five-way, this is like a dream scenario.
This is a big blunder to double.
Yeah.
Look at the PR. This is a big. He doesn't have the race. He's crumbling under the time pressure.
Yeah.
He didn't have the
checkers
race.
Don't match the transcription. I see it, but yeah, that's the. So at 5-away, 2-away, the leader can take deeper in the race by at least a pip or two.
Yes, he should not double aggressively. It's
not even a money double. It's counterintuitive to a lot of people. They think that I just ship it, but
it's horrible. It's really horrible. Mochy simply miscalculated the race here.
That's the only explanation. Yeah.
And of course, it's because he's under time pressure. I'm feeling bad for Mochy right now.
Yeah, he's really struggling in this game.
Okay, we get another break from the the umpire here.
They are both playing like lightning now.
Yes.
Just come on. It's good. When they get under time pressure, the transcriber keeps them a little more relaxed. That's nice. I think that's how it should go. No one wants to see someone lose on time and make mistakes on time.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's under time pressure, I feel like Mochy, he shouldn't have made these mistakes, you know?
Some of these were just,
He's playing so well, or has been playing so well all day.
Yeah.
In the first 4 matches, and then because of time pressure, because he didn't,
He must not be the kind of person that keeps a running count then? I don't know how he deals with pip counting.
I'm sure Mochy can count it in very few seconds. I don't think he needs to have a running pip count. I think he simply miscounted it because he had to do it so fast that then, mental errors just creep in.
I can't imagine he counted it in the time that he had, but
I'm pretty sure he made a quick count.
Yeah.
And just came to the wrong conclusion.
I don't know why more people don't try that. I've gotten so much out of nice. Saves it. Keeping a running count really is, I mean, especially for this time scenario, is just so valuable.
From the end of the beginning of the game, or just when you get into a racing position?
Yeah, I keep a running difference all the time, and I always know if I'm like anywhere near something to be considered. And if you have that and don't have to pause to think about it, like I gain so much time on people doing
Okay.
that. Like I
I've
feel
only
like
heard
matches all
one
the time.
grandmaster applying this method, and that's Daniel Sørensen from Denmark.
Yep.
I'm oh wow, double six. I find that I use too much energy during the game if I do a running pip count, but I guess it also depends on how good you are at it.
It took me about a month to really feel like it wasn't difficult, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I just haven't practiced it enough.
Yeah.
But I'm also very fast at counting pips. I can count
Yeah.
them in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I know I got the idea from someone else, you know, maybe it was MCG or maybe Stick does it too. I can't remember, but there are definitely people that keep running counts as well.
Okay. But I think when you get into a racing situation, Mochy really needs a 6 here. And he gets the 6.
Nice
Wow,
shot.
and now we need to, double 4 or better.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, Mochy has a little bit of luck.
Yeah, a little bit of life. And he could still win the PR race despite having like a very sloppy game. Yeah,
that was a horrible game from Mochy.
Wow.
Get the official UBC 2020 final merchandise. All sales go to support the UBC team and volunteers.
I think, I mean, when you get into a racing-oriented position like a holding game, you should have a running pip count. But I would just do the pip count when I get into that position, and then I know the pip count. And every time there is a decision where the pip matters, you should count the pips, or if you don't already have a running pip count. Okay,
interesting.
Both players have 26 seconds left on the clock. That's a great shot from Mochy. We're going to probably see an early cube.
Yeah.
Depending on what Hideaki rolls here, 2 6s.
He doesn't make a point, so it could even be a pass. I know.
I don't think
that's
it's
kind of.
Is it a pass?
3-way, 2-way. It's definitely a cube.
I think it's a cube. No, it's not a pass. We can see it now from the equities, actually. It reveals the truth. It's not a pass. It can never be a pass. There's no score at which this is a pass. I don't think even 4-away, 2-away. So it's just a good cube, and he does quickly.
Look at that. Probably it should be a pass for 4-away, 2-way. Looking at those.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. Then it is a pass for 4-way, 2-way. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm
just thinking
of
in opening double sixes. Rule of thumb that I know is if you've made a point and your opponent hasn't, then it tends to be a pass. If your opponent's made a point and you haven't, then it tends to be not a double. And if it's even, it tends to be a take.
Okay.
But usually both of you need to make a point, right? So like neither of you having developed shouldn't generally be a cube, but because of the score, it must be a cube.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And look at the PR now. It's very close. The PR race is super close.
Yeah.
5.2 versus 5.1. The ugliest game so far in the UBC. That's the hit from Hideaki. Mochy's gonna hit back. Let's see if he can win the battle of the 5-point here.
Very natural, yeah.
It's a huge battle, huge swing coming up here. Nope. Hideaki fights back. Very strong hit. Oh, he finds the 5-4 ace very fast, because I think that's a difficult ace to find, but he does.
That's his strength and his weakness, right? It's his double-edged sword.
Okay, the battle continues. Mochy wants to win the battle. Oh, as if Mochy already knew that was coming. He was getting prepared. Okay, there's the miss. So now Mochy has a chance. 3 hits and an ace and a deuce makes the 5-point. And that's perfection.
What a shot.
Mochy's in
he's
good
a
shape.
huge match favorite, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's a big match favorite here.
Wow.
Hideaki. Oh no, was that the right idea? Okay, I'm actually surprised that it's so close. I would have played 13 to 8.
It doesn't look like it accomplishes much. Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, now we go from California to New York.
Is that what the inside climb is now?
Or maybe it's from California to Miami.
I like New York better. It's colder there. You probably stay inside more, you know.
3-1.
Look at this.
Aha, it could develop into a back game.
Back.
Yeah, so what about the ace? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just play this one, it's more flexible. You got the 7-point slotted. Oh, Mochy is happy to see that Hideaki didn't roll a deuce there, and now he's going to attack.
But he doesn't get to.
But what about this play?
Yeah,
Bring it down to the 8-point.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's nice. Maximizing
It's still...
deuce. Again, Hideaki wants the deuce. No deuce.
Giant swing on that deuce.
Yes, he could have secured the back game and actually had reasonable timing. Oh, wow, look at this.
Well, his ace point game will be timed.
Yes, and look, he does win the game 20.6% of the time from this position.
Yeah.
Because he does have a well-timed ace point game here. But it's not a good proposition. He's a match underdog. And I think Mochy is actually in a good PR spot now because he's getting decisions while Hideaki is just sitting on the bar.
Good point. I think he knows this game very well too. Like I don't think he's going to make mistakes in this too often.
Look, he's
got a slight edge.
Yeah,
okay.
he's got a slight edge. Obviously, we need the deeper analysis, but
yeah.
6-1. Okay, so Mochy needs to make a decision. Just play for connectivity. Yeah, whatever. Yes, that's fine. Small mistake, but it's fine.
He really does need to win the PR on this one, where Hideaki gave him such a big kind of opportunity to do that.
Yes.
Can't make the interesting.
Okay, good.
Can't cover the 6 prime.
Yeah, he can't. He could have played 5-2, but that's just so ugly, you know.
Right.
So Mochy made a great play here, and now he does want to make the 6 prime just to bring the checkers home safely.
Maybe, yeah.
That's
fine.
That's fine. It's gonna be very. Oh, that's not a good roll.
No, it's survive. Yeah, he's out of timing. Never mind. That's bad. Yeah.
Okay.
That seems reasonable.
He leaves the extra shot, so he's giving Mochy a decision if he rolled an ace whether to hit or not. So luckily for Mochy, he didn't have to make that decision.
Probably doesn't mind being hit there. Like he's gonna have real timing challenges now. So.
And Mochy stacked up the 7 point, which kills his own 6s, which means that he's going for a slow baron. So he's hoping to get Hideaki to crunch his front position here. Otherwise, he would have played the other variation where he had a blood on the 8 point to have a playable 6.
Interesting, yeah. And Hideaki is successfully slowing down, which he needs to do.
2-1, that's a great shot.
Yeah.
Hideaki wants some 6s just to get mobility, so he doesn't crunch. Double 4 is the second worst roll.
Yep, not good. It's survivable if he gets that immediate 6, but it's time now. And Mochi's still got some distribution issues here. It's not perfect.
But it's not bad either.
Okay,
he does have that
Yeah.
inner gap on the Mochi's 4 point. We don't like inner gaps when we're bearing in against an anger or bearing off. But he does have a pretty good spare checker distribution. Now he gets to clear the 6, which is good, but it leaves him with a uneven number.
Okay. Our first dead checker.
Yes.
Unfortunate.
Very bad for Hideaki.
Still got life though. Ooh, 4-2 is not great. Interesting.
It's not too bad either. Actually, he gets to clear point.
That's true.
Take a checker off. Maybe it's not too bad actually.
Yeah.
6-2. Okay, so now Mochy wants to clear the 5 point before Hideaki gets his own 5 point made.
That was tricky right there.
Yeah, good play
Trey would have loved to think about that more.
Yeah, he has to use his intuition now.
I don't think you can't risk cracking like this. You gotta. Okay, good. He looked at covering. I think you can't do that.
No, and he's not also because he's not going to get the shot now. He's going to get the shot in 1 or 2, 3 rows down the line.
Yeah.
So he shouldn't. He should play for mobility now, not to create structure.
That's a good spot to leave him for the double shot on bad 5s. Yeah.
Yes, good split with the back checkers there. 3-1. There's
3-1.
the shot.
Wow, what a roll that is. That's an awkward one.
And Mochy has to make a quick decision. Oh yeah.
Yeah, just both from the 5. I think he'll find this pretty quickly too.
I mean, that's the play that solves your problems. This is
this
is a big one. Oh, Mochy was actually winning the PR.
Yeah, that might cost him, right?
Again, the time trouble.
Oh, what a roll this
then
is
he
now.
gets to clear. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get to see how big that blunder was, but I think it was quite big.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a tough decision, you know. He had to make a tough decision, but it was just the wrong idea. He should have solved the tricky problem, which was the clearing.
And look at that. Yeah, Ueda's got a clear lead. Yep.
Yes.
Man. So that's amazing performance from Hideaki too. Just to have.
The backgammon. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay,
so you had that one giant blunder, and otherwise no blunders in that match either, right?
But Mochy would have won the PR if he hadn't made that blunder at the end.
This one I really don't think he can afford to lose. Yeah, and this is 7-1 lead for Hideaki.
Yeah.
Like that's you can't give that much to such a good player, you know. That's
I'm
tough.
looking forward to seeing the official PR result because this was a long match with lots of errors and blunders. Now Mochy gets the result from the umpire, and he's not going to be happy.
So Hideaki wins all matches is still possible. We're still on that train.
Oh, Mochy's disappointed.
Yeah, he will be. He should
Yeah.
be too. That is interesting though. I wonder, like, Hideaki should be really disappointed with his cube mistake, but he kind of gets like a little relief from it in that it didn't cost him, right? He
Yes.
kind of got off the hook.
Yeah.
So very interesting.
Okay, let's see here the
And
PR
the
result.
holds.
Yes,
Yeah, result holds.
it's going to be 5.2 for Mochy and 4.3 for Hideaki. And Hideaki is also leading a little bit he is leading in the average PR now. Mochy had a golden opportunity here to capitalize on Hideaki's blunder with the cube.
What was I talking about?
But
Mochy
then-
just won that match. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, but he could have won 2 points and even distanced himself in the average PR. But
Yeah.
But Mochy, he crumbled under the time pressure in this position. He was also unlucky, obviously, to get so many difficult decisions while he was low on time.
Yeah.
But if he had spent less time in the beginning of the match, he would have had the time to figure out some of the plays, because some of these blunders he made, I'm sure that Mochy would find the right play.
Yeah.
If you just like the cube where he didn't have the right race count, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That is a confusing one. They feel like composure kind of mistakes and things that I don't expect to see out of Mochy. So I would be very interested to hear from him kind of what happened in that one.
yes,
If he just didn't feel like he was as sharp as he needed to be or what.
Yeah, we should ask him in the post-match interview.
Yeah.
That's one of the key moments where we saw Mochy do something quite irrational.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Nick. I'm heading on to do a analysis video on this. At least this match, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Me and the secret grandmaster waiting here.
Right.
But what else do you think about the match today?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I mean, it is fascinating to like look at it and say clearly Mochy is not playing his best in a couple of those matches, and they still have such amazing PR results, right? Like better than, like, I don't know, what, 99% of backgammon players or something like that. I don't know. So it's wild. It's wild to watch this. But I look forward to seeing if he can clean that up and adjust that for day 2 and come back with his, Super-Grandmaster kind of level.
Yeah, like he did last year. He still played way better this year on day 1 in the first 4 matches, Mochy, than he did last year against Sander. So let's see. And Hideaki, what do we think about Hideaki so far?
Right. What an amazing spot to be in, to be up 6-2 and, like your first ever final so early in his backgammon career and everything too. This is amazing. I can't imagine. I'm sure he felt like he prepared to be able to do that, but it's tough to expect to do that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this has to be as good a result as he can have. He's got that cube to look at and really like think about, but otherwise what a clean match and a clean day.
Yes. Oof, 2.6 PR average. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. See you tomorrow, Nick. Thanks again. Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yes. And for the viewers, stay tuned. We're going to have a little break here. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to click subscribe. Nick Blasier is going to be back with us tomorrow. And now we're going to go ahead with and reveal who the secret grandmaster is that's going to be analyzing this match alongside of myself today. And stay tuned. We'll be back in a couple of moments.
The UBC is produced by Backgammon Galaxy. Play among the stars. Hi there. This is the amazing team who made the UBC production that you're watching right now. You can support us by donating any amount using this QR code or the link in the description below. Donate $50 or more to get a personal shout-out later in the video by Marc Olsen. Donate $1,000 to get a shout-out and your own custom avatar on Galaxy. Thank you so much for your support. Another way to support Backgammon Galaxy is to place your sports bets on betgalaxy.net, the fastest way to build your Bitcoin bankroll while Bitcoin is skyrocketing. BetGalaxy.net is a Bitcoin-only bookmaker created by the Galaxy team and accepts players worldwide. Create an account now and place your sports bets.
So So we're back here after the break. That was a scary thing to see. Mochy crumble under time pressure. Hideaki a little bit as well, but kept a higher level of play, 2.6 versus 3.3 average PRs for today. Mochy had really played amazing so far, but we saw some really bad mistakes from Mochy today. We've got a very special guest tonight for the Secret Grandmaster analysis. But before we go ahead with the analysis section, I gotta give a couple of shout outs here. Charles Drummond, $100 donation. Thank you so much, Charles, and thank you for your nice message as well that came along with that donation. Bogdan Alexandru, $50 donation. Thank you, Bogdan. And then we got a $100 donation from FM Gammon and Fuad Erdak. And FM is the board producer of the first Galaxy board, the Neptune board, and the second Galaxy board, the Earth board that you've seen during the commercial breaks here between games. A shout out as well to Ralph Bird from the Melbourne Open tournament, which this year is going to be an online event. It's going to take place right after the UBC finals, actually, from the 1st of February. There's going to be some satellites and some different tournaments there. And then there's a $500 main event. So see if you can get a spot in the main event through the satellites. Okay, we are ready. We're gonna reveal who today's Secret Grandmaster is.
Secret fish.
Huge fish, Mr. Jacob Stick Rice. Mr. Stick, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Pretty exciting to watch today.
Oh yes, wow. I mean, we saw that these guys are actually human.
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Yeah, and Stick is actually coming really well prepared as the Grandmaster here, because he did the favor of actually rolling out positions, so that's exciting. So let's see if we can dive into it, and all the viewers here can hopefully learn a lot from having Grandmaster Stick's thoughts about the game shared to you guys. So let's go ahead, Stick. I'm just gonna roll through the opening sequences here, and we're gonna get into the first flag position, which is the double one for Hideaki. So what's going on here, Stick?
I just love this position. There's honestly not much going on. You see the wrong play was made. It's a small error, no big deal. I collect these positions. Basically, it's a double one position when you've already made the 5 point. It's like basically always make the 4 point. And this is a perfect example of it, because the other play looks like it does so much. You know, it hits a checker, it makes a better anchor, it rolls your spare off, and it's still wrong. It's just amazing how wrong this play always is. And it's not wrong by much here, but I was just so happy that it came up for me personally, like to add it to my collection.
Okay,
yeah.
It's extraordinarily efficient to use 5 checkers or 10 checkers to make a pure 5 prime like this. It is actually, like you say, you get so much value for the money with the other play. And I think I said during the transmission that I just make the other play, you hit, use flex,
right.
I mean, but you're right. It's just amazing how strong that other play is.
I do that with a lot of type positions. Like once you start collecting them, like you just collect them over time and they build up and they build up, and then you realize like, hey, it's never wrong. Just make the 4 point. You know, once you see so many of them.
Okay, then we move on here. So he did make the other play, the hitting play. Mochy in this with an awkward 5-1, and now we have a cube action, which eventually Mochy did take it. I think I said it was kind of a brave take, but I kind of said that's okay because it's close. But then you roll out the position stick, and it actually turned out it was a pass. Like it was a significant pass.
I think on the lower analysis it was a take, right? I believe.
Yes, I think it was actually borderline. The decision here. Whether to
and
take...
it's not that big of a pass either. And honestly, I would have dropped this in almost a heartbeat. So I was pretty surprised myself. Like I didn't think it was this close to a take. I would have dropped without too much thought. So I played this out about 10 times to see where all the ugly vig comes from. Obviously, the person taking the cube is up some pips, and their back checkers have freedom to split. Like there's still enough room back there they can split or run right away. So it is tough. You get some counterplay, but it's a tough one to take.
Yeah, and but Mochy found the take, which kind of it takes some heart to find a take here. So he wanted to play out the position, got punished right away with the 2-1, and now Hideaki does have that beautiful 5 prime.
Yeah, I would take this for money, but not in a match where my PR matters.
Okay, so what do you feel like the adjustment is here, like in a 7-point match versus money play? How much do you actually adjust?
No, I was saying I take it for money because I don't care. It's just money. Whereas the 7-point match, I mean, 7-way is basically money.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
okay.
meant I wouldn't be annoyed by a .05 error on a cube
Yeah.
for money, whereas a match, I would hate myself.
Okay, so let's move on here. Do we have more flag positions in game
Yes.
1? We do. Okay, so we're coming
Down,
down here.
down.
So Hideaki has a strong position. Eventually he catches Mochy here with a 5-point board on the bar, and now Mochy enters, and now he has a 3-1 to play. So basically the decision for Hideaki is, how do we get my checkers home as easy as possible? And he made a wrong play here. He made a small error. He angered up and played 7-4. And it's not the right play. The right play is just to stay splitted. So what can you tell us a little bit about this position, Stick?
Yeah, and any position where you see your opponent has 2 or more interboard blots should throw off flags in your head to look for generally a looser play. Like, you don't have to button up and tighten things up. And here, I think it was probably just maybe tired, sloppy play. I don't feel like he would make this play normally. Like, there are quite a few plays in this match where I feel like the guys are just time pressure or just tired from playing so much backgammon. Mm-hmm. And I think this would be one of them, because there's just no fear of really getting hit at this point, mm-hmm. having a 5-point board and him 2 blots and just can't cover much of anything.
Yes, I had the same feeling. Okay, so we have one more flag position here. So eventually Hideaki starts bearing in, and then he makes a bear off mistake, which is not that often we see that. So, and you actually rolled out the position, Stick, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
And Hideaki played the hitting play, and so the hit and cover, while the best play is simply just to play 6-2. So what's going on here, Stick?
I always start, anytime I have a question about how to play a play, I ask myself first is, what's the DMP play? Because basically, if it's clear, it's always right. And so here the DMP play is pretty clear. You're just obviously not going to hit at DMP. And sometimes you would hit and make the point, but there'd have to be like a significant amount of gammons. I don't know where I'd put that number, but it'd be like maybe around 20% or more. But when there are so few gammons to be had, the trade-off just isn't going to be there. So I felt like it was pretty obvious, like there aren't a lot of gammons here, because even if he fans, like you have a slow bear off, he doesn't have really that many crossover. You can't like just start ripping checkers off. So yeah, again, another small error, but when you're as good as these guys are, you have to focus on these small errors. Like they don't have a lot left to look at because they play so well in general.
Okay, so there's a little lesson here for the lesser experienced players, that Stick actually looks at whether one play is clearly better for simply just winning the game. And if that's the case, then you really need a good reason to play the gammon move. So I think that was a cool lesson. Okay, let's move on here. Do we have anything else in game?
I think there's one more just because it's funky, like at the end of the game, the 1-1.
Oh yeah, the 1-1. Okay, so what's going on here?
I just thought it was cute. So when the opponent does leave a blot in this position, like they roll, you know, a 6-2 or a 6-3 or, you know, these kind of numbers, their home board's going to be a mess for the rest of the game. So you actually don't mind like them coming in deep and hitting. You actually want to be hit because they have off so many checkers. Like, so you can break in a way you normally wouldn't break. Again, normally 6-2, the play he made over the board is basically the right play in general. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's just such a weird position because he's got all those blots in his center board.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I guess there's a little bit about the priming as well. Like you said, it's totally the default play to just clear from the rear.
Right, yeah.
But maybe there's a little bit about the priming. Like some of the moves like 3-2, 3-1, and double 3, he doesn't get to jump. While if it's a 6-point you break, then all 6s he's already escaped and out running.
Yeah, he's just gone.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a funky little one. Okay, so we're moving on to game 2. I'm just scrolling through the opening game here with the viewers. So let's see. Okay, we get into an early back game position here because Mochy has 2 angers established. Not a real back game yet, but it's like an early back game.
Yeah, there are 2 anchors, but there's no timing. Like, you know, It's an even race. So that's,
Okay, so we got the first flag here, a 4-2. We had some small inaccuracies, but we're just gonna skip them because there's so much material today. So we got the 4-2 here for Mochy. Okay, so what's going on, Stick?
Yeah, I think a lot of the times people look at the straight pip count and they they say, hey, I'm ahead, I'm running. Hey, I'm behind, I'm staying back. I don't think they take into account the nuance enough of when it's close or if it's close or how close it is. Because here, obviously, it's, you know, a race that we're maybe slightly ahead in, so you think we might want to jump up and jump out. But that checker back there, the contact is actually good for us because of how strong our board is. We don't want to give away that coverage so that he can just dump with some of his awkward numbers. And also, that checker is not like primed in by any means. It can still jump if it needs to. So I don't feel like moving up, it's all negative and no positive really to coming up.
Yeah. I mean, so the lesson here, I would say, is that after you understand one of the basic strategy rules of backgammon, if you're ahead in the race, then race. If you're behind in the race, stay back. There's another lesson here that Stig teaches us that I think it goes back to what Will Snelling said in a podcast we did last month, that you need to be open-minded. You need to always look at the position, to never take anything for granted. And as Stig rightfully pointed out, this blot is actually an asset because of the additional contact it creates here. Because blue has, or Hideaki has, a very weak front structure and that blot on the ace point. So yeah, that's cool stuff. Okay, so we're moving on. And the next flag is the cube decision where Hideaki, this is a really bad decision from Hideaki. So actually the first really bad decision from Hideaki in 4 matches, I would say. So what went wrong here, Stig?
I'm just guessing at what went wrong. Obviously, when you get to 3-away, 7-away, and 3-away, 6-away, like we're going to see, these are some weird cube situations. So part of it can be faulted to that. Like, you got a huge lead. You don't want to take gammonish cubes, obviously. But still, I mean.
Yeah. There's just so much play in this position, so much contact.
With positions, when I get to lopsided scores, still the first question I ask myself is, would I take this for money? And it just helps me gauge, you know, where I'm at. Because if I'm like, oh, I always take this for money, like, would I even double this for money would be my next question. If I'm not doubling it for money, I'm obviously always taking it. So I answer the questions I answer more often, like the ones I'm more familiar with, to try to situate myself. And like here, he just can't blitz. Yes, he has 10 men in the zone, but all his other men are way far away from the zone, and the blitz is just so deep because he's got a guy on the ace in the open 2, and at some point we'll just pop in and pop out probably. So it's very hard to actually get a blitz out of this position.
Yeah.
And obviously his position, well, not ideal with a mate ace point, a weird structure. It's still just points and points.
Yeah.
You know, it's still, you know, structure. So
I think, I mean, it's difficult again to speculate what went wrong. It might be that there's a little bit of inexperience showing here, actually, even though that Hideaki is a phenom, literally, like a Grandmaster level in 3 years and sitting in the UBC final versus Mochy playing 2.6 in his 4th year of his backgammon career. It's absolutely crazy. But maybe here we saw a little bit of inexperience because you gotta, if you made this blunder 5 or 10 times during 1 or 2 decades, you kind of know the value of all these outfield points. It's just obstacles for all those checkers to get around, and it's just going to be difficult for Mochy to bring his position around here. There's so much play, and as we can see in the winning chances, Hideaki wins 42.5% of these games. It's kind of like an outfield prime, all these points here. That's very...
It's kind of hard for him to hop through, and again, he can't hop out and try to carry out a blitz. It just...
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe he's also a little bit, I don't know his play that much, but maybe I'm familiar with the score, like on a very deep level, you know, like, because it doesn't come up very often.
Yeah, it is tricky. I mean, it is tricky. It's not, match scores and the gammonish positions, all that stuff. It's tricky stuff. Okay, let's move on to game 3. Again, I'm just scrolling through. By the way, guys, if you appreciate that Grandmaster Stig is coming here and sharing his knowledge, please smash the like button. We've got 199 likes, so that's pretty good. Almost 200, not bad. Okay, moving on here. Yes, so again, actually another early back game. Oh, there's the blunder. Oh yes, 6-5 from Mochy in this. I wouldn't call it, maybe an early back game or maybe just a holding game position. 6-5 for Mochy here, and he makes the ace point, which is actually a blunder. So what about this position, Stig? What do you think?
Right. I mean, you hated it as much as I did when you saw it. Just I don't know what he was thinking here. Again, I don't think he'd ever make this play. When you have such a long game ahead of you, it's a real rarity that you're just going to dump 2 checkers to the ace point for really no good reason. Like, it seemed like 2 down was just obvious. And it shows making the 2 point isn't a big error, but I feel like it is. Like, I would throw up at making the 2 point also.
Yeah.
Just 2 down was obvious. You don't, yeah, sure, you would like to keep some outfield control, but you can't. So
yeah. The midpoint is probably got to go anyway.
Yeah.
In the up-cup. I mean, I would say that the ace point is significantly worse than the deuce point, because you could still make a 6 prime with the deuce point. And leaving the shots, that's actually not really a big issue, because you've got the double anchor here and he's got a 1 point board. So it's not so much that, it's just so nasty to play impure in such a long game, as Stig says. Mochy's got 172 pips to go before we go. Yeah.
More pips than the opening position when we rolled this, and we're just going to make the ace point with, like, it's not even like we're pointing on him, like nothing, just like throwing two checkers there in this long of a game.
Do you have any guess of what Mochy, what triggered this play in Mochy? What was he thinking?
No, again, I'm not sure when he started. I don't think he was worried about time yet. I don't know, because again, this is not typical for Mochy. I would never think he would make this play. Again, there are a couple plays he made, a couple decisions he made that I would bet 100% against him having made them. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I'm also surprised here.
Yeah.
Okay, then we get some tricky cube actions here. You haven't even flagged it because it's a quite narrow doubling window for Hideaki, but he does miss a small cube. And then we got a checker play here from Mochy. And that's actually a significant error from Mochy. A 58 millipoint error. He played the hitting play, which he wasn't supposed to do. It's premature. He should play 20 bar to 20. So what's up with this position, Stig?
Yeah, I think you nailed this one over the board too. Like right away, you just realized you need the timing. Like, you can't hope to hit and contain at this point without having checkers to jump from. Your back checker doesn't have anyone on the 20 point to jump. If the checker was already there, maybe we could hit, but you're hoping for a miracle to be able to hit now and contain and somehow escape those back checkers. You just got to wait for a better time to hit.
It's simply better to just stay in the back game and try.
Yeah, and again, the size of the error is cut off because it's supposed to go double pass. So I'm not sure how big the error would be for actually hitting.
Yeah. The biggest difference is actually in the gammon loss here. We have 29% versus 21% gammon loss. So this error is probably even bigger if Hideaki was to double, but I recall he didn't. He missed another cube, and Mochy probably would have, I don't know. Yeah, he probably would have taken this cube. I don't know. It's close either way. And another interesting, it's the cube action actually that you flagged here, Stig, right?
Yeah, I just flagged one of them. Like you said, there are a bunch of them, and they're all pretty small because the window at this score is so hard to find. Basically, I wrote an article, I think it's on Gammon Village, about doubling at 3-away, 7-away or greater. And 3-away, 6-away is the one I really wanted to include that you never double, basically, unless you're in a straight, race or a straight, like, holding game. But 3-away, 6-away has these little cubes that you can find, like came up in this game, where there's a small window, and they're nearly impossible to find. But I wondered what he was thinking here. I wonder if he's thinking he's too good or not good enough. Like this whole series.
Yes.
Like, I just have no idea until he was obviously too good what he was thinking.
Yeah.
And if you're playing this kind of format and you could foresee, like, I'm going to have a bunch of these decisions and they might all be wrong. I might miss all these cubes. You should double the first one.
Just keep it simple.
So you don't just get ding and ding and ding and ding.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Very interesting, because then I think he realizes that he's way too good the roll after.
Yeah.
Mochy's got 7 back checkers and a more or less crunched front position. So yeah, he does miss that. And then we have this very interesting 4-2 from Hideaki, a back game checker play here. He ended up making the deuce point, which is impure and sacrifices the 4 point, the battle of the 4 point. The best play would have been the double hit, but it was very close. But this is a tricky decision, in my opinion. So what's going on here, Stig?
I would have accepted either of the other 2 plays, like you said, but just not making the 2 point. It was, as you pointed out, too impure. Like, the 4 point's a nice part of a compact prime, where he's all hemmed in back there. you're not really worried about him moving up from the 24 to the 23 too much. That's not a huge thing. The double hit is obviously also very good too, as you'll probably keep him from getting a second/third anchor that's advanced, and obviously you have everyone in the zone. But I just hated making the 2-point. And you saw in this match specifically how much of a sore spot that was. He never got to make the 4-point.
Yeah.
He didn't make it now, and he just couldn't make it the rest of the match.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, very good analysis. Let's move on. Again, maybe I'm trying to extract the basic lessons to the lesser experienced players out there. And essentially, when you're playing against a back game, actually it's for both players, both the offensive and the defensive player, you need to play pure. Purity is so important. Don't bury checkers. So that's the overall.
No matter which side of the back game you're playing, you only have so many checkers to use for the important points. So you have to use them for the right points. When you put them deep, you have 5 men on the other side and 4 men on your deuce and your ace, it just doesn't work.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so what do we have here? Then we get into some cubes. A cube, you didn't flag it, Stick, but again, Hideaki misses a cube here. I think he's playing on too good to double here. But actually, there's a little bit of winning chances now for Mochy, because this is actually a reasonably timed 1-5 back game. So
yeah, and again, it's now a phantom 1-5-4 game. That's the issue. Since the 4-point's not filled, it's half like he has the point. That's what he can almost take.
And we actually see with 4-1, and by the way, Hideaki played that play very fast, and it is a very demanding play.
Very good play.
He just clears the 8-point and slots the 4-point. He knows that he shouldn't play more ugly stuff here. He should just try to close that phantom point. And he didn't, and he did get hit with a 3. And then we get into a containment game situation. But when you're in a containment game, which Mochy is here because he's trying to contain that hit checker, you prefer to have a pure prime structure. But unfortunately for Mochy, he's got the deeper points made, so that makes it more difficult to contain. And now he has a 2-1 to play, and he actually makes a blunder. So what do you think about this position, Stick?
Yeah, in these kind of positions, you want to keep your checkers on different points, obviously. And they're very easy to escape, the checkers on the 21 and the 20 right now. So you don't really need to move it up for that. And he also isn't in fear of getting hit, because he's not going to hit from the bar. He's not going to open up 2 more blots. So if he's forced somehow, I haven't looked through all the numbers, to hit with a 2 or a 1, he's going to hit off the ace point, and force him out. And also, I think the only thing you guys didn't say in the during the commentary was it's also just a builder for the 5-point. When you go to the 11. That builder is definitely worth something, being on the, being there for if he comes in with a 5-1 or if he doesn't come in at all. Yeah. So I think it's really important to have there.
So you're creating an asset with the blot on the 11-point because it works on the 5-point, and you are staying flexible with your back checkers. As you said, there's no reason to be scared of not being able to jump with that checker. So it's better to have the flexibility. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's move on here. We get into a very interesting cube action now. Mochy is doing his best to contain, but Hideaki enters. Mochy unfortunately misses, and now we have this critical cube action. And if I recall, during the stream, this was actually a rather close decision for Mochy, but I can see the Stick rolled it out. Let me just go to game 3 here and see what it was, or was it game 2 or game 3? Game 3. Let me just see the XG++ says that it's very close and it's a take, and according to Stick's rollout, it's actually a big take. So what's going on here, Stick? What do you think about this position?
Yeah. Well, first over the board, I felt like he took a while to double this. I don't know whether it's 30 seconds or a minute. He took some time to double it, which is fine. He still had the time. But then it got to Mochy once he doubled, and Mochy just basically burned so much of his clock. What was Mochy thinking about when he was thinking about doubling? It was just such poor clock management for both of them, I feel like, in this match. It really pained me to watch it. If the guy's sitting there thinking about a double for a minute, you should be thinking about whether you're taking or not. Sometimes I'll just grab a cube after they double, and people are like, well, how did you know? I was like, what are you guys thinking about why they're thinking? You should be thinking about your own cube decision if they might be doubling you, so you don't waste your own time, especially as if you're low on time.
Yeah.
So then Mochy sat and looked at this for what felt like forever. and he just passed. I don't know if he went through the numbers, didn't have time to go through the numbers and figure out everything. Again, with XG, like we can cheat right now, and if you can just look at the dice distribution, which is always a big fan of, I'm a big fan of that.
Yes, let's look
and
at the
just
dice
see basically the bad rolls, the rolls that leave you with a good chunk of equity as the taker.
Yeah, so that would be
And
the
also,
red rolls here. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a good chunk there. Especially these rolls down here, the 4-2, 3-1, 4-1, 6-1, 4-3, 6-4, 5-3, 5-4, 6-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's at the score. It's at the score where our gammons don't hurt us as much. Our gammon's worth about 0.35. They're worth significantly less than money. Our gammon wins are worth a little more. Not that there hardly are any, but that's still a thing.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, we can just whip recubes because this take point's like 29% or something. So,
yes, that's true.
the score has
that's
a big
true.
influence on this.
It does, yeah. The recube value is really big for Mochy here. It's a drop for money, of course, because the gammons are too much, 30% gammon. I think the reason Mochy took his time is that it's a very tactical position. I like to call these positions hypergammon positions because essentially the battle is just with a couple of checkers here. Does Hideaki successfully get that back checker home, or does he get hit and then Mochy will has his counterplay? So it's a tactical position which you have to calculate, and that's probably what Mochy did. But I'm not disagreeing with you, Stick, in terms of the time management analysis.
And again, if you start getting low on time and you're thinking this might be a take or not, it's a take now because you've used up all your time. You have to shorten the match by taking cubes that might be takes. Again, sometimes you have to figure out the time somehow. Like if you don't play well under time pressure, which I don't want to say whether they do or not, because I don't know the one player, but I know Mochy has timed out before. Then figure it out at some point. Just don't waste your time on stuff like that. Or if you do, you got to take it.
Yes. Okay, so I'm moving on to game 4 here.
Yeah.
We've got a question here from Christian Monk Christensen in the chat. That asks if the overall PRs include Stick's rollout. They do not, Christian. It is the XG setting that is the official result. Simply just because otherwise we could be rolling forever and all that stuff.
You would roll forever, cherry pick things. You have to get default settings. Yeah, it'd be a lot of work.
So it's the heaviest XG settings we can find. Okay, we're in game 4 here, and the first flag move is the 6-5 for Hideaki. He does make an ugly play here. I didn't like this when I saw it. So what do you think about this position, Stick?
Yeah, 2 down from the mid is natural. He has no board. You don't need to worry about fly shots. You don't want to kill checkers early. You want those builders for your 5-point. Everything just points to 2 down. There's no reason to worry about whatever it is, 6 fly shots when he has nothing going on whatsoever.
I wonder if he made a match score adjustment in his checker play here, that maybe because he's leading so much, he didn't want to play a volatile checker play.
Right. I hope not, because this would not be a checker play that you would really adjust at any score. Like some of them, you make a checker play that's more or less gammonish, but this is just the right checker play. I don't care what the score is. It would be weird to adjust when the guy has he has nothing going on.
Yes, it is actually the best play in all scores, even gammon save scores.
Yeah.
I think the point I made over the board was that Mochy is so underdeveloped and the 2 blots in the outfield, so he needs the full roll to develop. So you're not scared of a fly shot, which takes 2, or the 2 dice, to develop. So you're not scared of the fly shots, which takes 2 dice to hit. And the McGrill save versus ball criteria, Hideaki has the stronger inner board. He can play a little bit bold, It's no reason to play safe and put that ugly dilly builder on the 4-point. So that was
one dilly builder begets another dilly builder the next roll.
Yes, that's true.
He was consistent at least.
Yeah, and that's actually a mistake again.
Yeah, this is a big mistake here. The last one was big too. But this one over the board, he just made instant. He didn't even think about. And you'll see this come up a lot where if the guy has a checker on the 24-point and he's playing some sort of anchor game, or it might only be that checker. If he's got no board or a blotted board like he does here, you can kick him off that point pretty early. either by making the point, which is obviously the easiest way to go, or sometimes even just by hitting him loose.
Yeah.
And just forcing forward. Because it's so hard for him to just like roll a great number.
Yeah, it's actually a great move as well to just hit loose and play flexible.
Yeah. One of my rules is if, again, not including back games, but if you hit on the ace point and you can make it, you just make it. Like, that's, again, another virtually 100% of the time. Like, there's no reason not to. You're putting a guy on the bar, another point's good.
Yeah, we had the same rule from Will Snellings yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think there's also the same as the role before, that Mochy is so underdeveloped. So getting hit with a fly shot here is not scary at all. He can hit back and with fives, aces, and sixes to hit back with a stronger inner board. He should have taken the opportunity to solve the problem with the goalkeeper behind, rather than playing the ugly 13-4. Okay, so that was a bad technique there from Hideaki. And so he manages to make a beautiful 5' here. Now he has a nice holding game going on. Mochy gets a hit. All of a sudden, Mochy has a forward game now because he hit the checker there. He's doesn't have the same prime strength, but he does have a 3-point board, and he all of a sudden gets a good game going here. So I can imagine a flag is coming here, Stig. I'm just scrolling through the moves for the viewers, and after Mochy closes out, there is the first flag. Okay, so this is a 3-1 checker play. So Mochy correctly didn't double here. I think I said something like he's 2 steps away from losing his market, and but then he misplaced his 3-1, and this one is actually tricky. So what's the explanation
this is tricky,
here?
Again, this one is the reason he didn't get it right is because he didn't have the time to think about it. Honestly, like this one, you have to set up both plays and see which numbers you're able to play. You know, which small numbers you can play without breaking after one play compared to the other. That's really all it is. Because I think he went with the default, which again, 8-4 would be the default. Because like you guys say, you would rather have 12 numbers than 11 numbers to step up from the back of the prime, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that you can play more numbers in the forward position if you make the other play.
Yes. You have a 4
but yeah,
to
you just
play
didn't have
here.
the time to go through the numbers. So
Yes. And notice the 6-4. The 6-4 after the right play doesn't break your inner board.
Right, it doesn't. Yep, you still got that 4 to play. Yep.
Yeah, you still got the 4 to play. That's probably the swing, actually. Maybe it was close the other way. So tricky little tactic there. But at least the next time he got it right with the 6-1. Now he did. He kept to the same principle and stayed back here and had 12 instead of 13, 12 instead of 11 to step up. And then we got a flag here. This one surprised me over the board that Mochy didn't find this
big
cue
flag.
at this score with this volatility.
Right. Yeah. Again, you guys realize, like, if he rolls a 2, he lost his market, and you obviously have a couple rolls to roll a 2, so you have at least 12 market losing sequences at a score which is wildly lopsided. You know, where you can never get recubed. Only your gammons are good. Gammon losses aren't bad. Just everything clearly points to doubling here.
Yes.
I'm surprised he missed this.
Yes. Me too. And I think actually.
And he kicked himself for it, I'm sure, right away. Again, he rolls a 2, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I lost my market."
Yeah. Yeah. I think it even became a little bit bigger on the rollout that you did, Stig.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mochy, he rolls 3-1 again. And now he has another cube decision, and it is actually a cube again, but this time it's smaller because he just moved 4 pips, so he's got a little bit less time now to get the deuce and the 6. But it's still a cube, even though we see it's a completely 50-50 position, or 51-49. Another thing we didn't mention just before, Stig, is that when he doubles, he also eliminates the opponent's gammon. Even though it's not a lot, it's still 4.5% of gammon that you just eliminate from your opponent's equity equation by swinging the cube. And then he does roll the deuce, and now he realizes, oh my god, I lost my market. But anyway, I have to double because it's volatile. I might not roll a 6, and then maybe he has a take or whatever. Not again. I think it was the time pressure from Mochy, right? Who would have thought that Mochy would make such a blunder? Yeah. Okay, moving on to game 5. Again, we're skipping some small errors here just because there's so much meat on the plate. Okay. Wow. big one here, almost a double wobber for Mochy with the 4-2. I mean, this one, I can see why you would make a mistake like this if you don't have the time to think it through. But it was actually a crucial decision, a huge blunder. So what's going on here, Stig, in this position?
Yeah, like you said, with no time, maybe you see you're in an even race, you see you're outboarded, so you just want to play safe. But the issue is obviously you can never bring this position home by playing safe. Like, you just don't have. You're never going to make any points, and you're just going to end up wasting a lot of pips at best. Never making the 5 and 4, and also just generally speaking, when you can make a little prime like this, and you're making the 6th point away from that anchor, wherever that anchor is, and you're just leaving this one shot, you're usually supposed to do it. It comes up in other positions where it's similar. Even though you're leaving an ace and you're outboarded, you're still making a decent prime in most of those positions.
Yeah. And the prime is even better than it apparently looks, because his backcheckers, Hideaki's backcheckers, they don't have daylight. They're being blocked from the 6s.
They need 1s and 2s to step up. They need 1s and 2s to cover, and they need 1s to hit.
Oh, yes, that's a great point. Great tactical point. Yeah. So this was a really crucial one. So he missed out on a huge asset with priming value from the 9 point, because the race is so close. Prime value has so much value here. It's not like Mochy is just playing to bring his checkers home. Priming is really important with such a close race, and so he missed out on that, and he missed out on the beautiful tactics with the duplications of the aces and deuces. So ugly play here from Mochy. This is the right idea if you were ahead with 18 pips or so. Then maybe you
or maybe even if you were ahead and had like some spares to play and could feasibly make a point somewhere with those spares, but he just has a bunch of stripped points after his play.
Yeah, it's a really ugly alternative. Okay, so I'm moving forward here. So now we're in a holding game position. Another weakness with Mochy's play is that Hideaki doesn't just have a contact game here. He also has a racing game, or he has both.
He just splits off and goes whenever he feels like it now.
Yeah. And still have like
because we got a blot on our ace, we don't have anything to hit with. Yeah, it's horrible.
Okay, so Mochy does cover the ace, and then we get into this holding game position, and then we have an interesting double 4 for Mochy, and actually have pretty significant mistakes. Double 4 is usually the most tricky role to play, and Mochy almost made a blunder here. So what went wrong, Stig?
Yeah, what went wrong is, again, low on time. I mean, he didn't have time to look at the plays. So he figured, hey, a guy on the bar, I'm leaving no shot. Like, that was his short-term thinking, I'm sure. Where if he had time to set him up, I mean, you just see it's, one, a 4-point board versus a 3-point board. Way stronger, especially when there's another blot to pick up. If he fans, almost half the time you got that other blot to pick up. Actually, half the time you do, because, the roll 5-1 or 4-2 when he comes in, the blot will still be there. It's got everything aimed at those high points, too. For when the guy does come in or when he does fan, especially. Like, it's just such a stronger play to make the point, rather than worrying about 4 little fly shots. And again, this race isn't over, as he proved by rolling a reasonable racing number. Now you can't even double him.
Yes, 6-5, which gave him 45% winning chances. I think there's also the fact that Mochy is down 5-2. He needs to send in a cube next time. One play has gammons, 11% gammons. The other one is a completely gammonless position with 1.8% gammon. So, I mean, Mochy was following the principle of playing with low volatility before you want a cube. Maybe that was what. Also, he was low on time. I think he had maybe 19 seconds or something. But I mean, it's a way more powerful move. Make the 4-point board and the blitzing play. Cube next time. Try to win a gammon. Weak play here. And Hideaki does roll 6-5, and now they have an even race, and Mochy is feeling sad that he didn't make a better play. And then this, I mean, what happened here? Was it a complete meltdown, or what happened here with the cube?
Yeah, it was something was fried at the time. He obviously just didn't know the racing count. He would never double this.
No, he must have miscalculated.
So one, again, on time, how to use your time. A few rolls ago, when when the guy rolled the 6-5, even if you didn't have a count, once he rolls that 6-5, this next turn or two, however much time you have, on his turn and on your own turn, you should be taking your time up till like the delay goes off to count. If you can't count quickly, or like he's under time pressure, he should use those 5 seconds on his other turns to count his opponent's position, then count his own, and by the third turn you'll have the count without wasting any time if you didn't have it already.
Yeah, that's great.
Again,
advice.
he should be able to count this very easily. Like it counts, but
that's the thing. I mean, I would bet Mochy could count in 5 seconds. He would have the pip count here, or maybe even less. The differences. So I mean, something went wrong in his meltdown of the hard disk or whatever. Yeah.
And you guys did ask about when you were commentating about keeping an account from the beginning, and I definitely do when I need to. So I don't do it all the time because it is energy. And again, if I'm just randomly playing or whatever, I won't do it. But with practice, it's very easy to do. So if I'm ever low on time, I'll obviously do it. Or if it's an important match, I might even do it anyway, like if it's a really important match. But especially, I count blackjack, and it's basically the same thing as counting blackjack. You're just adding pluses and minuses each way. So it just fits in for anyone who counts cards. Like it's really an easy way to count. It's not that much effort in it.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, nice to hear your opinion about this stick.
Yeah. And again, you can always drop the count. Like if it gets complicated and you realize it's not going to be a racing game, just drop the count. Like you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it gets into a racing game. Mochy was actually a little bit lucky here. He did pull it off and get the win, and now he's at a three-way, two-away score. And now we have an opening game error from Hideaki. Yeah. It's a little bit unorthodox because it's after the double six, which is almost not really so much of an opening game anymore. But it's the third roll of the match, and this is the third error we've seen from Hideaki in 4 matches in the opening game. So maybe there's a little something there.
Yeah, that's a good exercise. I always love doing is just playing out the opening game. And whenever I'm not 100% sure, and I mean 100%, like I would give people odds on making whatever my move is, then I'll stop and restart. I'll look at the answer, I'll try to figure out why, and then I'll restart. And hopefully, again, you start making it to like the 7th and 8th move, and you don't come to the 3rd move and say, oh, shit. Like, what am I doing with this? And a double sixes is common, too. Like, this should come up often enough. You should know what you're doing here.
Yes, and it's actually a borderline decision, the take pass score, according to your rollout here.
I didn't even look at that, yeah.
Yes, I got this one completely wrong over the board. I was simply remembering some wrong reference positions here. But it's a borderline decision. Hideaki did take, who can blame him? I believe there was a significant take on XG++, let me just check. Let's see here.
So most double sixes, when the guy rolls double six on the second roll and then it comes back to him again, assuming your opponent hasn't rolled well, like they haven't rolled great rolls, like he hasn't here, he hasn't rolled well, usually the win breakdown is 65-35 for whatever that's worth. Like it's right in that area. So if that ever helps you at a score like this, for example, that's a real easy thing to know. Usually it breaks down right around there.
Yeah, that's really good advice. That's a nice one. Okay, so then we play this game, holding game. Mochy gets into a good spot. Do we have any more flags here?
Just the one where, again, he exploded.
Oh, yeah, at the end. Ooh, and that cost him the PR for the match.
Yeah.
So it was such a crucial decision.
And it's also, again, I just don't, even without time, like this is not the default play. Like the default play is just the other play. It's just so obvious how much it cleans up better, like you never leave more shots not never, but you know what I mean? Like, whereas with the other play, you just leave more shots right away.
Yeah.
Like, or imagine if you threw like a 4, a 6-4 or a 5-4 next turn, you're leaving triple shots. Like
Yes.
It was very. He got away with one there because again, 1, he made the wrong play, and didn't get hit, and then 2, he rolled a miracle to follow it up.
Yes.
Like he didn't leave a shot again. He rolled like a miracle. So.
Yeah, that was a big one. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is that you want to do what's most difficult first, right? Or what's the lesson here for the viewers with this position? I
mean, again, how they play next turn, assuming you're missed, after one play, you don't leave any shots, basically, more or less.
Yeah.
After the other play, like if you go through all the dice, you see
Yes.
completely shots all over the place.
Yeah.
So essentially, you may be leaving less immediate numbers if you just count like, hey, I'm only leaving 11 this way, and the other way I'm leaving 15. But essentially, you're leaving 11 again next turn, like all the time.
Yeah.
Unless you roll a miracle. So basically, you're leaving a double shot instead of a single shot.
Yeah. That's a great point. Okay. That's it. Wow, what a match. Thank you so much, Stick, for sharing all your knowledge
that was
with
good
us.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool match. And all the viewers.
It's fun to watch. I'm glad you streamed it.
Yeah. Yes. I hope the viewers were entertained. Today in match 4, we got to see a little bit of human side to the players here. They still have a beautiful PR. So, I mean, yeah, what can we say? They are human. At least Mochy is. But last year, Mochy played even worse on day 1. He was playing at a 4.4 after day 1, and Mochy ended up playing an average PR of, I believe it was 2.8. So he came back on day 2 and day 3 and played like below 2.0. So maybe he's going to do the same this year. Hideaki is playing at a 2.6, incredible performance so far, and he's ahead 6-2, a significant lead. He's a big favorite now to become the 2020 UBC World Championship holder. Can Mochy make the comeback? That's the question. Very, very exciting. So we're gonna be back with the next match 5 tomorrow at the same time, 9 o'clock Central European time, 3 o'clock New York time. If you haven't already smashed the like button, please do so. Another fun little thing here tonight, we've got just before the stream went live, I created a little tournament on Backgammon Galaxy called UBC Fanboys 10 Euro tournament. So if anybody want to go and play that tournament, it starts in, let me see, 53 minutes on Backgammon Galaxy. We've got it right here, UBC Fanboys. It's a 10-year tournament, so you need tournament coins. If you haven't already bought tournament coins, you can do so either via credit card or via PayPal. It's MindSkills who administers all of the tournament coins on Backgammon Galaxy. What else do we have? Oh yes, we got to make a little shout out here to FM Gammon for making such a beautiful new Galaxy board, the Earth board. It comes at $8.99 with worldwide shipping. It's really beautiful. It comes with the bear of trays, which can be dismounted. It comes with this little carry bag as well to carry if you want to go full travel mode. Leave the bear of cases at home and just put it in the little bag here, and then you're ready to travel. So that's cool as well. And then we got Bet Galaxy, the new Bitcoin bookmaker from the Galaxy team. If you're betting on sports and you find it annoying that there are so many regulations all over the world, just use Bitcoin and go and place your sports bets on Bet Galaxy. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna show the scoreboard here so you can see the average PRs and the results so far, and then I'm gonna see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.